Why is this the song? I don't know. Have we talked about that? I should know this, Doug. I'm a little behind on the seasons. I'm getting caught up.
Well,
still new here. It's never been covered in onboarding, but that song plays, and you just kind of know that it's an immediate trigger for people to start texting.
It is. I don't know, but it's been the song as long as I can remember. Maybe as long as since the show's been on. Maybe since your first go-around with this effort.
Oh, I don't remember it back then.
It wasn't. I don't think it was the original song.
No.
There was at one point, I think, James Brown, The Big Payback was...
Yeah.
Is that right?
Biz Marquis song also a show open for a little bit.
Boy, I don't remember. Right. Buck Swope has now been activated because he doesn't miss a second of the show, Doug.
Okay, he should have the answer for us.
We sit here on the show, and we miss minutes at a time.
Uh-huh.
Just kind of spaced out, maybe tending to an email or a text, and we're like, I'm sorry, what was that about? Okay. We're back. Doug Tim is out today. We'll establish.
No.
Yeah. So you're going to
turn around and come home.
I think it's a little late.
Okay.
Tim's out. Doug's here. Martin's here. Jackson, Chairman Kurt with you on a Friday, and we've got a ton to get into. Do you like when I say that, Doug? We got a lot to get into.
A lot to get to. Yeah, we better hurry. We only got 4 hours.
A lot to get into, yet we'll end up talking about people that were born with two heads. We'll probably talk about James Taylor, Eddie Munster. You never know where it's going to go, Doug. That's the beauty of the show. But there is a Polos Plus dossier, and that has Joey Vitale at 8:15. Boy, quick turnaround for him. He was in Carolina last night. And then Gabe DeArmond. I don't know how much good he's going to be to us, Doug, because not only does he follow and cover Mizzou football and basketball, where they tend to get you excited, let you down, then get you excited again, then let you down again. He has to host post-game shows with those folks, too.
Yeah. Well, I'm worried about papers.
And then there's papers.
Yeah. That had to be a tough blow, huh?
Yeah, yesterday was tough.
Well, are you over it?
Yeah, I got over it fairly quickly. I was just really... It's like the annoying thing of, like, you look like you have nothing. You're down 16 at one point. And then you come all the way back. You take the lead, and it's like, oh, you roped me right back in. Just messing with my heartstrings.
Do you think it's every fan base? Because I contend that Mizzou sports tend to do that, where they pull you in maybe early in the year. Hey, we got something here. We got something. Okay. Oh, all right. We're off to a good start. We haven't played anybody. We're off to a good start. Oh, crap. We just got our teeth kicked in because we played somebody legit. Say Illinois in basketball. Say Georgia, Alabama football. But then they win a couple in a row. You're like, you know what? We're actually pretty good. We might sneak into this thing. And then they drop you on your skull again.
I tend to think that there is no, like, college sports fandom that's totally unique. Like, situations are going to be similar across different fan bases. There's too many teams and too many ways the season goes for it to be, or not enough ways for the season to go for it to be, like, wholly unique that Mizzou kicks you in the teeth, like you said, right when you think they're going to be great.
And every team but one comes up short.
Yeah.
Just barely. Right. So whether you don't make it at all, knocked out in the first round, or lose in the championship game, you feel like you're snake bitten.
Right, and that's like a Russian nesting doll. Like only
a Russian what?
Nesting doll.
A Russian.
You know the little dolls.
Russian nesting doll.
It's a big kind of.
I can't visualize.
Almost egg shaped.
Yeah, egg shaped doll, and then you open it up, and there's a smaller one there, and then there's a smaller one there.
Yeah.
There's only one team that comes out as wins the SEC. There's only one team that wins the Big Ten. Then there's only one team, or in football, 12 teams that go to the playoff, and then one team that wins it all. Like outside, like yes, it's just one team, but only one team wins the SEC. It goes back and forth all the way up to the top.
Okay, now all of that is true, but let's say football. You still want to be in the playoff. I mean, you could easily sit back and say, well, we won 8-4. It doesn't matter. Only one team won it. Sure would have been better to be in that championship game and lose than to be 8-4.
100%. There's only 12 nesting dolls.
So now there's 12, but there's only one at the end, but there's 12.
Yes. Well, there's one, the big one.
I want Mizzou to be a nesting doll or resting doll or whatever the hell it is.
Indiana got the biggest nesting doll.
Okay.
There's 11 other teams that got nesting dolls. 12, really, if you can. Indiana had several nesting dolls. I don't understand how you're not understanding this analogy.
I'm struggling. If you understand the Russian nesting doll theory proposed by Papers, feel free to text in. Air Comfort Service text line is 399-9646. Collier and Thompson phone lines. Fridays are always, Doug says on Fridays, he walks in at about 6:48 and says, well, let's open them up early. Let's let's send out a text alert.
The phone lines are poison.
Why would you say that, Doug?
Well, because that's historically been the case.
Okay.
Well, we'll take some calls, of course. Got to get something.
Do
off
any
your
of the other
chest.
shows take live calls? Are we down? Are we the only
don't
ones?
know.
They do for the gauntlet on the fast.
Well, they load them. Okay, they get them all lined up, kind
for
of,
the trivia gauntlet, yeah.
but no random.
I don't
they don't have a
believe so.
PhD fellow that calls in and just drops
take
some
a lot of-
Blazers knowledge.
Some mic drops. I think mic drops.
314-974-0101. That's the Callier and Thompson phone line. You want to be part of the show? And I would never forget about our friends in the YouTube chat. It's the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. Papers is too young to understand Mizzou pain. That's from Kevin at the Lake.
I've been through some things.
I still have 89 Illini pain. That's from John Scores. Flying Illini. So you can get involved in all those different ways. We have that Polos Plus dossier mentioning it. Joey Vitale at 8:15. Gabe DeArmond coming your way at 9 o'clock. Ryan Luechtefeld will talk Billikens at 10 o'clock. And that'll be serving as sort of a pregame, a preview, because, Doug, the Bills play at 10:30 today.
Yeah. I'm uncomfortable with these morning basketball games.
So it's 11:30 Pittsburgh time, but these kids are from the Central Time Zone. They've been playing that well, so it's got to feel a little early.
I'm sure it does. Because they probably usually wake up at 8 or 9 in the morning. They're not ready to play a basketball game.
And you got to eat something, but you don't really want to have like a big old breakfast.
Yeah.
Papers, the game is 11:30 in Pittsburgh. So they're probably at the arena about 9:30,
Oh, I'd say earlier than that.
more than 2 hours.
Yeah. I bet
and a
because
half.
they get on the floor about an hour before the game. So I'd
Okay.
maybe 9-ish.
And they like free parking, so you want to get there.
You think the Billikens? It is the A10. What if the bus pulls up like, all right, that'll be $75?
Like every player has to give like a $20 bill
Chris
to some
Mays,
guy.
like, hold on, I got Chaffetz.
Ava's like, all
Visa
right,
here
I'll cover
somewhere.
it.
Yeah. And we've got the Illini playing around 1:30-ish. That's a second game, which means it won't start at 1:30.
Should Illini fans be worried about the Badgers?
Always
the
be worried about
Kingslayers?
it. Here's the thing about Wisconsin. They never lose to teams they should beat.
Right.
But they occasionally beat the teams they shouldn't beat.
Yeah.
They're pretty damn consistent. Now, that's a great game. If you just like ball and Papers likes the hoop rock,
I sure do.
that'd be a good game to watch. That's coming up a little past 1:30. Guess what, Doug? The Blues played last night.
Here we go.
And they're going to play again tonight.
Okay.
They're right back at it. Edmonton in town. The Oilers are here. That's right here on 101 ESPN. So it's a full Friday for you. And, of course, the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. And Chairman Kurt, as we walked into the studio here, the Stifel Studios, what did you tell me and Doug?
Well, I opened up my browser this morning, and the email of the day tab was still open, and I noticed there was a couple newbies in there, and we had an email submitted at 12:42 a.m.
Oh.
And then another one a little later at 1:47 a.m. So they're getting them in early today.
They couldn't sleep. They wanted this garage door so badly.
Yeah, and it's wide open, if I'm not mistaken. I think there's a 8-way, 9-way tie for first, something like that.
You think maybe they came home late from the taverns last night, couldn't get in their garage door, and said, "That's it. I'm sending an email to get a new garage door."
Just sitting out.
Emailed
in
from the
garage.
car?
Yeah, or out in the driveway.
Yeah.
Had to be something like that. I mean, you don't spring out of bed and do it, do you?
You think it was the end of the night for them, not the beginning of the day?
Yeah, I think they're just getting home and are really fed up with the garage door.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you can email in. We do have that great prize at the end of the month for the top emailer. We'll tabulate it all at the end of March, and somebody's getting a free garage door from Schaefer Garage. Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Shooter McGavin said, it's just, I want Mizzou to be one of those 68 nesting dolls. But my ex-wife threw them all out before I could open them up because she wasn't controlling it. Now, that sounds like, instead of being pithy, I think it's an actual complaint.
You guys want some Joe Lenardi bracketology?
Yeah, updated, please.
Updated this morning, officially at 12:10 a.m. Eastern.
Was he sending us emails?
I don't think so, but you can't rule it out. He's been a guest on the program. He's got the St. Louis Billikens Martin as a 10 seed playing in Oklahoma City against St. Mary's. That's a spot previously held by the Tigers of Missouri, but now SLU has it. Playing St. Mary's, 10-7 seed.
And SLU fans, you take that in a heartbeat. You just want to be in.
Yeah. And on the last four in, the last teams to make the field overall, there's VCU, SMU, Texas, and Missouri. Missouri, he's got them playing in Dayton.
In the 11?
Got him playing, 11 seed in Dayton against VCU for the right to play right here in St. Louis, Missouri against Louisville.
Well, that's kinda neat.
That'd be a pretty good game, Mizzou and VCU.
I agree, and I think that's likely what's going to happen for the Tigers is they're going to have to play in Dayton.
They feel Dayton bound, don't they?
It does.
And you can't
feel-
complain at this point.
No, after you had it right in front of you to punch your ticket fully and not have to worry. You went 0-3 on those attempts, so now you have to wait for Selection Sunday and kind of sweat it out, but I think it's going to be the first 4 games in Dayton. Unfortunately, but like you said, at this point you take it.
So far, 20 and 12, 10 and 8 in the conference.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's good enough.
20 and
to get you in.
13, right, with the loss
I think
Oh, this my thing says
I
20. and
think.
12.
given the circumstance of everyone around them, I think they are absolutely have a resume good enough to be in the field of 68, but probably no better than the 11.
There's a lot of media narratives that are lazy. And so right now everybody says, this is proof you don't need 76. But I've felt that way all along. Do you want to see it expand 8 more? Because I feel like then we'll have the Auburns right now, which is very annoying. Next year, there'll be some team that's way worse than Auburn was this year, and they'll be fighting. Oh, we should be in. We don't want to be left out, no matter what the field is.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Doug talks about this a lot. If they move it up to 16 teams in college football, the 17th team will complain. Like, you'll always have someone feel like they've been left out. So ultimately, I don't have a strong feeling one way or another.
And I think if you make it too easy to get in, then you take away the importance of the regular season and the conference tournaments. You can just kind of glide through it all, get your 20 wins with some careful scheduling, and claim you're one of the best 76 teams.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. So I think 6 days is probably the right number.
Guys, I can't wait for Auburn to not make the tournament and Bruce Pearl to have a meltdown on TV. It's going to be magical. They had video of him on the sidelines yesterday screaming. Calm down. We understand.
Bruce or his son?
Bruce. He was at the game screaming as they were getting beaten again because they're 3-9 in their last 12, but they deserve a bid. Okay.
Well, he's advocating for his son, I guess.
I understand. But if you're going to be a fan, like a former coach and a dad, totally understand. But he's now a media guy. And I think you have to take that hat off just a little bit.
I agree, but, and I can't believe I'm over here kind of defending Bruce Pearl.
Ooh. Not in the dossier.
But a handful of these guys were his players last year. He's less than a year off of coaching this team when they were really, really good last year. I kind of like something about being right there on the hardwood, seeing the team that you were coaching, 10 months ago, probably has you feeling, those feelings return and you can't help yourself.
I understand, but I think then when he gets on the set and he's like, Auburn, this, Auburn, that.
If he wasn't a media guy, it would
if I was a producer,
different.
I'd say, give it a rest.
Yeah.
Pick another team to, triumph.
Yeah.
Hey, I feel really strong, but he's already dumped on Miami of Ohio, so I'm not sure who to hand
And
him.
he says that's a BS media narrative that he's been dumping on Miami.
I think it's also a bad look when a former coach is out there yelling and screaming. It kind of looks like he's showing up the current coach like he knows more than what the current, even if he's not yelling at his players, at the ref. It's kind of a Bigfoot kind of look.
Like at the end of the sports, Larry Connors would say, Doug, I thought they should have gone to Bulger earlier. And you're like, well, that's my domain, pal.
I mean, it would be a bad look if Tony La Russa were standing up screaming at Cardinal games and everything.
I agree, but
Take out the pitcher, Ollie. Bozo.
I think it's different that his son is the coach, and like the only not
family ties.
Maybe not the only reason, but certainly a reason why his son is the coach is the way Bruce Pearl kind of navigated his exit. So I feel like maybe in the clause of, hey, you're going to be the coaches, I get to come to the games and scream
and still coach.
Yeah, basically.
When I want to.
Yeah.
Why do you fellas hate the Blues playoff push? That's true.
Hottest team in the league.
Since the Olympic break, Doug, they are 6-1-1. Should have won that game the other night against the Islanders. And I'm not that guy. I'm not doing it. We're not talking about it. But I did text the group last night that the Blues are 6 out of a playoff spot.
Money Puck has them as a 1.9% chance to make the playoffs.
17 left to play.
Here they come.
What if Army said, well, if you would have let me trade all these guys, we wouldn't be in this position.
Yeah. Boy, this really will be a story if they get in the playoffs with this group.
Predictionary.
Oh, okay.
Is anybody saying they'll get in?
No.
Well,
I shouldn't speak.
6 points doesn't sound bad with 17 to play, but the fact that they've got 3, 4, 5, like 6 or 7 teams ahead of them, somebody's going to win almost every night.
Yeah.
But you just want to be a Russian nesting doll?
Kind of, yeah.
Even in the hockey world?
Sure.
All right, Doug, what about the Vaughn Index? What do you have for the Blues? Because I haven't checked
let
lately.
me do some math.
We've kind of stopped monitoring.
What was the score last night?
Said no. It was 3-1.
That's
Empty
right,
netter.
3-1.
Buchnevich, you wanted to see him get going. He got an empty netter.
Oh, it was an empty netter. Well, that changes things. So the Vaughn Index would be right around 62.
Oh, wow.
62 Vaughn Index.
Jackson, how many points do the Blues have?
Have to look
in
that
the
up.
Western Conference.
How many points?
Yeah. Well, Doug said the Vaughn Index is 62.
Oh, 62 points?
Thank you.
Yes.
Is that what it is?
Like I said,
it worked again.
Like I said, Buck Swope listens to every second of the show. We don't listen to every second of the show. We're sitting right here.
Well, it was the Vaughn Index, not the points. I respect the Vaughn Index. I
Totally
just
different
assume.
thing.
I know.
The math is different.
Oh, okay.
This isn't my first rodeo.
Okay, but it tends to be the same number.
Well, that's just coincidence.
Okay.
If the math works out,
Right.
it's usually very close.
Right. Doug's been doing this for a long time, Martin. He knows puck.
Okay, but I thought you might have a educated guess to the point total.
Nope. No, I trust Doug.
Jimmy Snuggerud, friend of the show, Snipes. Last 5 games, Doug's last 4 games, 5 goals. 5 goals, last 4 games.
I've had him on the bench in my fantasy hockey.
Is that right?
Boy, how's that feel?
Wow.
Because I've forgotten to adjust the lineup before the game starts.
But also malware, likely.
Malware and some Trojan horses have gotten me.
Yeah.
Hey, Doug, they have 4 teams between them and the last wild card.
Well, they've also got 2 that are currently holding the wild card spots. You have to pass at least one of them also.
And then this is Chunk in the Chuck, and then he sent a screenshot of the standings. They got 4 teams between them in the last wild card, Douglas. Get your ass on break for being wrong.
Well,
I don't know what that means.
That's not accurate. There's 4 teams ahead of them that aren't in the wild card position either. So there's 4, and then you'd have to overtake one of the 2 teams that are in the wild card. So 5 would be the answer. You got to overtake 5 teams. You have to overtake the Jets, Predators, Kings, Kraken, and likely the Sharks.
I agree. Papers, Dallas has won 9 of their last 10. That's from the
Doug.
It's from the Oakville lawn manager saying that you can't say the Blues are the hottest team.
I was looking to see if there was any like tasty odds just for a little sprinkle on the Blues to make it, and I can't find a board where you can even get that bet.
Really?
Unless I'm just mistaken and missing it, but I checked a few different places. I couldn't find it.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, Robert Thomas told us the other day it's because they're starting to do strategically some things a little different, like hang on to the puck more, don't just chip it in quite so much. Whatever they're doing, it's working a lot better than it had.
You know, like guys, they got Dylan Holloway and Jimmy Snuggerud
wow.
talking about what's changed since the Olympic break. You want to hear it, though?
Absolutely is.
All right, here you go.
We've definitely kind of dug in for each other a bit. Not that we weren't doing that before, but it seems like right now we're really pulling through together as a team. And, we're playing smart hockey. We're playing kind of the way that our team's built and playing to our identity. So once you get a couple games like that, you kind of get that feeling, then, everybody kind of like feels it and knows what it takes to win. And then you just kind of try and keep that momentum going.
Just bringing more energy, I'd say, honestly. Kind of a nothing to lose mentality, I think. Just coming out each game with energy and just excitement to win hockey games.
All right. They didn't speak to the strategic changes they may have made.
It is sort of bizarre. The parallel last year, you have the 4 Nations break. Montgomery was relatively new as the head coach. They said they kind of like restart, almost have like a training camp. They come back, they go on that heater, and now here we are after another break. Mm-hmm. Maybe Monty just needs a team that every once in a while, Doug, just take a 3-week break,
right?
Come back and start over.
I like it. I don't think they'll continue to do it, but I like it. It's going to be really frustrating if they continue to play like this down the stretch and wind up about 2 games out of the playoff, because it feels like they gave away so many games this year.
I hate when the sports show talks sports. I'm missing Iggy. That's from Mahi. I miss Iggy, too. We were talking about Rich Gould a lot the last couple of days, and then he texted me yesterday out of nowhere. And he said, "What's going on? I haven't heard from you in a while."
He's always welcome.
And then he tweeted out mocking Mizzou.
I saw that.
And somebody said, "Get Uncle Rich." And I said, he must have been, I don't know if he was at his favorite Bridgeton microbrew, but he's texting me how much he kind of misses the sports team. And then he's tweeting, making fun of Mizzou. And he loves Mizzou. He's a big fan.
So much so that he doesn't go into the football stadium.
Correct. Well, somebody's got to watch the tailgate.
Protect the grill.
But he said something about there, though I can't find it, but Mizzou's the worst ever or something.
Well, I don't know that.
It was a little strong. It was a little strong for, 4 in the afternoon?
We've always said you got to make your free throws and watch. I don't know why we say it like that, but that's what we do. And last night, the Tigers missed 8 free throws and lost by 6 points.
Yeah, and they got 2 points stolen from them.
How's that?
One of the most obvious goaltends I've ever seen in my life. The ball was so much coming down, and the guy swatted away, and the refs it was the closest I've seen Dennis Gates to getting a technical this season. And he never, ever, ever gets teed up.
Yeah.
It was, that's obviously not the reason that they lost. Free throws, missing 8 of them is going to cost you. If you make half of those, you're down 1.
And they still had a chance until that last little miracle shot went in.
Yeah.
The guy on Kentucky hit that shot off balance, kind of under the basket.
Yeah, that was
He doesn't make that twice out of 10.
No, it was Aberdeen. Oweh made the shot. So this
Put him up 3, Oweh.
Yeah, Oweh put him up 3. And this is now back-to-back games where Mark Mitchell has been so dominant down the stretch. Like the last 10 minutes offensively, it's just the Mark Mitchell
He's
show.
the whole team.
And it's outstanding. But like when you are so one-dimensional on that, Mark Mitchell, and understandably so, I'm not putting this on Mark Mitchell, is going to use the defensive side as kind of a way to catch his breath. And this is now back-to-back games with Trayvon Brazile hitting the 3 with Arkansas in Columbia. And now Oweh driving to the basket. Mark Mitchell's his help defender, and there's no shot contest when he gets to the rack. And it was good enough defense. I can't remember if it was Barrett or Robinson on him, but it was good enough defense off the drive. He's a great player, Oweh is. And so he gets the shot up, and there's no contest from the help side. And I'm not blaming Mark Mitchell, but he's going to get tired when all you do is go through him, and you don't have anyone else step up. And he makes the turnover when you're down 2. It's the other guys got to be there, man. Other guys got Anthony Robinson. There's no excuse for his offensive struggles. Trent Pierce needs to be much more of the player that his potential can be. Sean Phillips has to stay out of foul trouble and be smarter about how he uses his emotions.
These are a lot of things they got to do.
Yeah, there's a lot on that checklist.
And I say that, but then they're right there at the end of the game.
How?
You know?
I'll tell you what, I was in the car for a little bit, and I heard Tiger Mike and Chris Gervino, and they got down 16, and Gervino made the point. He said, well, Mike, you got to really be careful here. You cannot get blown out. Meaning tournament resume, like how bad would it look if you're on the, quote, bubble, and they look up and say, wow, you lost to Kentucky by 23 the other day, just your most recent game. Yeah. I think that's where, and these guys are sitting courtside watching this game and realizing how awful they look, thinking, man, we just got to make sure, like aesthetically, keep it close.
Right. But then the second half's a battle, absolute battle. Second half, for 15-minute stretch there, Missouri was playing dominant basketball. And it's the inconsistency. And that's going to happen. Kentucky basically had a home crowd last night, or yesterday, I should say, in Nashville. And it's understandable to get out to a somewhat slow start, but you can't let that compound. And, as good as they play in the second half, you got to finish. The last 2 minutes are more important than the first 2 minutes of the second half.
Kentucky will have a fan advantage almost anytime it's a neutral site
Big
game.
Blue Nation.
Because, they travel really well for their basketball team.
And if I'm the NCAA, put them in St. Louis because you want to sell tickets, right?
Yeah.
Let them come here.
You think Mark Mitchell gets a sniff in the NBA?
I think that he might not get drafted, but I could see him signing a contract to maybe do a 2-way or just a G League contract because, unfortunately, although he's been shooting a lot better, it's not.
And he shoots mid-range jumpers.
Yeah, he shoots. He gets the turnaround going. He has an unbelievable skill set of patience when he gets to the basket, and he's ambidextrous, so he can finish with either hand so well. He's really good at drawing fouls, which is a huge plus in the NBA. I could see him. I don't think he'll get drafted, but I could see him definitely being a guy who's in the G League. Sean East is a guy, for former Missouri Tiger, who's been really good in the G League for a long time now. For a couple of years, he's been awesome. I think he could have a similar path to him.
Maybe Coach Hanlon can get a hold of him, teach him how to shoot the three-point a little bit better.
At this point, and he's 21 or 22. If the jumper isn't there, it's likely not going to be there. But like I said, he hit a huge 3 yesterday. It's so much so that the color commentator was so confused why they left him open. I was like, well, he's not a great shooter at all. And he was flabbergasted why they left him open from deep.
32 points from Mark Mitchell, willing the Tigers back into the game. They actually took the lead with, about 2.5 minutes to go. They lose, so now they're sitting on that bubble, I would say. That's fair. I think they know that, even in some of the post-game comments. Let's hear Coach Gates kind of summing up what happened to his squad in Nashville.
Yeah, extremely proud of our group, proud of our team. We may not have gotten off to a great start. Obviously, Kentucky had a home court advantage here in the conference tournament, but their fans showed up, creating an environment where we had to kind of get through the little wrinkles that stopped us, turnovers being the most important. And once we got settled into the game, I thought we were able to get some things going. You know, Sean Phillips' intensity, Mark Mitchell's intensity, T.O. Barrett intensity is what led us. Would love to have some possessions back, but you can't. And obviously, here we are. We'll be waiting our fate to see what the selection committee says.
I wouldn't blame Kentucky. They travel. Mizzou fans are welcome to travel. Like, anybody can do it.
No, 100%.
It's a little closer for sure, Nashville, but the game wasn't in Lexington, so
No.
I wouldn't knock their fan, but good for them for traveling.
Couldn't agree more.
When they've played here in St. Louis in the past in regional tournaments, downtown used to be packed with Kentucky people. They were everywhere.
Yeah, if it's a semi-Midwest or like anywhere within a 6 to 8 hour drive, Kentucky fans will be there. You better believe it. And there's Kentucky fans everywhere too. They're a team that's like Duke or North Carolina, where even if you didn't go there, even if you're not from there, you might become a Kentucky fan.
A lot of requests for you to clip off yourself. Jackson, did you say something about shooting with both hands? Are there guys who can shoot with both hands? I think it's a Francesa-esque.
Yeah.
And a lot of people focusing on the fact.
He's a lefty by nature, but he's really, really good at finishing with either hands, and his patience down low. Like, he waits and waits and waits for the right time to go up for the basket. He's great.
I don't know that I've ever seen anybody shoot both hands on their jump shot. Like, I'll shoot this one lefty. Well, I'll shoot this one righty. I'm not sure I've ever seen that.
No, I've always said that an ambidextrous quarterback could be really useful because you would never throw across your body.
Yeah, I've heard of guys doing that in high school.
Yeah. It seems like it'd be incredibly difficult to be an NFL-level quarterback with both hands.
Yeah, it hit me the other day. I think I'm going to get through an entire basketball season, high school, college, and pro, without seeing a 3-second violation called one time.
Yeah.
I've not seen one all year.
Yeah, I haven't seen one either.
That used to be a big thing.
Well, camping.
Yeah.
Doug, did you watch our little show last night? Sometimes he watches Martin's little show.
Sometimes I do. Just a snippet of it.
Okay. Well, the commentary last night, my TKO, was about Mark Mitchell. And I said, to me, he's the example of what the transfer portal should be. You do it once. You go somewhere and you say, you know what, I think I'm a better fit somewhere else. You go there and you stay. The typical transfer would be last year he comes to Mizzou, plays well, and then cashes in somewhere else, a bigger check, or I'm sure he's making plenty right now. But I like that model. You go, you get one, and I think that should be how it's portrayed moving forward. You get one shot at it, barring coach's situation, because he feels like a Tiger. Feels like he's been here 4 years.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think there is some nuance with, like, Mark Mitchell was a McDonald's All-American, went to Duke. He's an awesome player, like, right out of high school. And so Duke might not have been the great fit.
And his
after
numbers weren't bad.
No, not at all. But Cooper Flagg was coming in, he's going to play his same position, and he'd go back to Missouri, probably make more money, home state, and he's, like, ready to roll. Some guys might take 3 or 4 years to, like, finally reach their full potential, and then a team's like, we want, like Bennett Sturridge from Drake. It's like, you know, okay, now he is fully ready to play Big Ten basketball. Now let's bring him in. Like, I think there's some nuance, but yes, I agree in part.
Didn't it feel like he was there longer than 2 years?
Who, Mark Mitchell?
Mark Mitchell. In the end, you just feel like he feels like a Missouri Tiger, and yet only 2 years.
I think maybe because he's from Kansas City, there's a little bit of that.
And pretty prominent, I guess.
Yeah, very prominent.
Being able to transfer more than once would probably help the fringe players more.
Yeah.
Because you could go somewhere and sit on the bench and say, what am I doing? I'm going to spend 4 years sitting on the bench here when I can play somewhere else.
Right.
Then maybe you get somewhere else, oh, I'm on the bench again. Let me try this one more time.
Right. Or you start at a really small school and then finally, like, fully develop, and you're probably too good to be playing at that school.
A number of people pointing out the Larry Bird game where he used his left hand exclusively.
Oh, yeah. Hawks.
From the 317, on February 14th, 1986, against the Portland Trailblazers, Boston star Larry Bird played most of the game using his non-dominant left hand, stating that he was saving his right hand for the Lakers.
Elite.
47 points, 14 rebounds, 11 assists, and somewhere Cusimano passed out. Just watching.
Even shooting jump shots left-handed?
I guess.
Larry Legend, man. There was the story that he was like had 40 and was just cooking. I think it was the Hawks, and told somebody, he's like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to pull up, like, just bank in a three from super deep and fall into the bench and then check myself out. And he did exactly that.
There's a video out there of one game where he's hitting just impossible shots from every angle. and the guys on the other team's bench are falling down, slapping each other on the back.
Yeah.
Clapping.
Yeah. Lawyer legend.
618, can we get off Mizzou? See, we just did. The thing about this show, you don't like the topic, there's so much damn ADD. Don't worry.
Yeah, by the time you type in your complaint, we've moved on.
Yeah, it's like a luggage carousel because they'll eventually come back.
Doug, it's like a luggage carousel.
It's like a luggage carousel. You can grab it now or maybe go to the
Or wait.
bathroom, get a little Jamba Juice action or something.
And hope it doesn't get taken by someone else.
Yeah.
They never checked luggage anymore. You can walk out with anything.
What do you mean?
When you pick up your bag on the carousel, nobody ever checks to make sure you got your bag.
In other places, they do. It used to be more of a thing where you'd have to show your little tag.
Really?
Oh, yeah, when you would pick
I've
up your
never
bag.
had that in my life.
Really?
I haven't been checked in years.
I think it's
never
kind of died down.
I never check a bag, though.
Guys, Jackson is now fully developed. He's too good for TMA. When's he transferring?
Nope.
Are you getting offers?
Nope. Program builder.
Neil Allen, Craig Paquette sent that. I'll try and do better at reading the text names and also the YouTube chat. But it's
I think you're doing a great job, Martin.
Oh, thanks, buddy. Is it your birthday today? Somebody wished you happy birthday. Is it this weekend?
Today's my birthday.
Today's,
Oh, is it
my
really?
God.
Oh, we didn't know.
Oh, how
I
did
don't
you
care.
not put it in the dossier? Famous birthdays today.
Yeah.
And you list your own.
Be very endearing.
Jackson's
Oh,
birthday.
this is 28?
Wow.
28 years young.
Oh, boy.
Was that really a year ago? We had Joe Buck called in to salute you.
As Bill Clinton.
That's right. And then Floyd Irons, my wife, Josh Schertz, all left you voicemails.
Yeah, it was like a little cameo session.
Was
You're
it
right
a
at
year
your-
ago?
You're right at your physical prime, and from here, it's straight downhill the rest of your life. How's that-
28,
how's
it's
that feel?
downhill.
It feels like
27, 28, right the physical prime.
Well, he's
Yeah.
not a big league pitcher.
it could be. Yeah, it's still maybe to come. I can throw gas
Oh, you can't.
upwards of 61 miles an hour. That would fool a guy.
If you were pitching batting practice, they'd say, can you step up closer, throw it a little harder?
as long as the L net's big enough.
Here they come. The happy birthday greetings
Thank
rolling
you.
in on the text inbox.
They should really be sending happy birthdays to Caller Adam. It's also Caller Adam's birthday.
How about that?
He's the
Oh,
goat.
is it?
He's the goat. So,
How old is he?
how old is Caller
He's
Adam?
about 40, maybe.
I think he's 10 years older than me. I think he's 38.
Okay.
Shout out to Caller Adam.
Old enough to know better.
Shout out to Melissa. Shout out to Caller Adam. Shout out to everybody.
Same day as Common. Is that right?
Really?
Is it Common's birthday?
Awesome. Hell
We'll
yeah.
feature the music of Common here. We do, believe it or not, we do have a lot to get to. You just can't always tell when you're listening, right? But we do have a lot to get. Joey Vitale at, what is it, 8:15? Gabe DeArmond, just frustrated. He spent a lot. I listened to the post game, not the entirety, but the early. He was really just frustrated with Sean Phillips. It seemed to be the focus of the show. We'll talk Mizzou throughout. Blues have won again, Doug. And then they'll play again. Tonight, the Edmonton Oilers, the Blues, 6-1-1 since the Olympic break. Text in. People are firing them off left and right. That's the Air Comfort Service text line, 399-9646. Phone lines wide open at 97. Let's load her. Let's come back. How about some Papers birthday greetings? Dangerous?
Whatever.
974-0101. Michelob Ultra YouTube chat is up and running as well. We have the Polis Plus dossier, the Stifel Studios TMA powered by Brown and Crouppen here on this Friday. Paper's birthday. How about that? It took the
It's so
listeners.
exciting.
That's how well we know each other. It took the listeners to tell us it was your birthday.
Your birthday's on Tuesday?
Next Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, is it really?
This coming Tuesday.
And you're
This coming
28 also.
Tuesday. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then when Doug says 28 was your prom, I'm like, really?
Physical prime for an
I think
athlete.
as an athlete,
27, 28, that's about it.
I think as a human, like your 30s are great. You'll be fine.
Yeah. What's the take prime? When are you in your takes prime?
Take prom.
When you stop worrying about what everyone else thinks of you,
Yeah, that's-
which is usually 50, 60,
Yeah.
something like
That's
that.
when you can really start spitting the
Yeah,
takes.
when you just don't care
I
what the
think of
reaction
it,
is.
our best takesmiths are, past
Older.
40. Yeah.
Did Skip Bayless have a prime?
I think he's in it.
Was he always just kind of a D-bag?
Charles Barkley always says he wants to kick his ass.
He should. All right. It is the morning after, brought to you by Brown and Crouppen right here on 101. Jim Croce's birthday?
Nope.
Oh.
No, boy, I wish I shared a birthday with Jim Croce.
You wish.
No, I'm playing some Papers Classics.
Oh, because it's your day. Buddy, it's your day.
I'm playing some Papers Classics.
What are you doing? Are you going to be with your family tonight? Going to shoot it out there drinking?
Family was Sunday.
Okay.
My niece and I split a birthday. Her birthday is on the 27th of February, mine 13th of March. So the 8th is kind of a right down the middle. So we did a birthday dinner for the both of us on Sunday.
Okay.
Last week, which was great. It was so nice. I had my dad grilled, and it was awesome. Today we'll be playing some golf, and then with some friends, and then probably hanging out with some friends this evening.
What is the weather today? I thought it was nice today, but it was windy.
It's going to be like a high of 60, but not a lot of sunlight, and maybe a little wind. So it might be a touch chilly. I got my TMA skull cap.
Okay.
So I'll be prepared for the
I hope
elements.
people don't count on us for accurate weather, like in the morning, traffic and weather, because we always tend to get it wrong. Like, oh, it's going to be windy today, and it's beautiful. It's going to be cold.
Sunday, there's a chance that it could be 70 degrees and snow all within the same day.
How do you like that?
It's Jackson's birthday. It's also William H. Macy's birthday.
Is it really?
Isn't that great for you?
Nice. Hell yes.
Boy, that really
love
helps your
that.
stock.
Yeah,
really raises
little Bill.
How old do you think Bill Macy is?
So he was probably...
He's probably 70.
I'm going to say 67.
You're both way off.
Older?
76.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
He was born in 1950.
Wow.
Been around a while.
Coco Gauff, the tennis player.
Oh, nice.
Adam Clayton from U2.
Sure.
Tristan Thompson from
Oh, nice.
NBA was married to one of
The
those Kardashians.
Kardashians.
And, of course, Common, who was referenced, is... You got a guess on that?
Common?
Doug, I'm gonna give Doug a 6-year window.
I've never even heard the name Common
I was
before.
going to say I'll give Doug a 6 to 10 year window.
48.
All right, Doug, what do you think?
49.
53. Pretty good, Doug.
Okay, I won that
You
one.
say you don't know the years, then look at that.
Yeah.
Dunking on us.
I wouldn't know Common if he walked in that door right over there. What does he do?
Would that be funny if he's a rapper?
Rapper, actor.
Okay.
Does a lot of commercials, seemingly.
So I would know the face if I saw it?
Probably.
I actually think you might.
Probably. Bald gentleman.
Great voice.
Great voice. Great beard.
Now I got to look him up. See
Okay,
who he
see,
is.
I think if there was like, was it AT&T? One of these big brands, he did a lot of commercials.
Did you ever see the movie Wanted? He's in Wanted.
I did not. It's 7-2 segment-wise. Doug, that in the Polis Plus Dacia, that means it's stick and puck. We'll get to local rock, although we already kind of handled that somewhat in the show open. Joy Vitale at 8:15. Gabe DeArmond coming up at 9 o'clock talking Mizzou. But, Doug, your hockey team did win again. Let's hear from Jim Montgomery, who also talked about what Dylan Holloway talked about, the fact that this team seems different post-Olympic break.
All right.
A little more resilient. We're playing a little more loose, but we're managing the game significantly better, and that's given us an opportunity, even when we get outshot like the last two games, to get points or win games.
Jordan Bennington in net last night. 31 saves. They were outshot. Blues were 13-2 in the opening. Doug, do you call it a stanza? The opening
Sometimes
stanza
I do.
there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sometimes I do.
They beat Carolina, one of the best teams in the NHL. They beat them 3-1. And again, the Blues hosting the Edmonton Oilers coming your way tonight. What are you most excited about today, Doug? You've got Illinois playing. You got the Billikens playing. That's on USA Network at 10:30.
I'm most excited about the Billikens because Illinois is in. We know, regardless of what happens to them today, they're in the tournament. But the Billikens, who knows? And I want to see if Avila is anywhere close to himself, if he even plays.
I think we get an injury report day of. Stu Durando, credit him, he's on site in Pittsburgh. There was a Josh Schertz tweet last night. Did you see that, Jackson, which was just like I don't know what the emoji would be described as, kind of like a surprised face, smiley face.
Let me take a look.
And people were saying, oh, no, he's leaving. I mean, the reaction was unbelievable. And I think Stu, being on site, Stu Durando, asked him, and Coach Schertz said, I'll just leave it to your imagination. People were also thinking he was laughing because George Mason, who just drilled the Billikens, got knocked out by St. Bonaventure, of all teams.
DraftKings line has the Billikens favored by 6.5 today.
All right.
George Washington, Jugs in D.C., I believe, is a GW guy, a revolutionary. That game recently at Chaffetz was one where George Washington really put the Bills to the test. They did win, but it was a narrow win.
This says tickets at PPG Paints Arena in Pittsburgh for as low as $7. That's pretty cheap to see a big-time college hoops game.
I guess if you're in Pittsburgh this time of year,
Not a lot to draw you there.
Are they playing where Pitt plays?
It's where the Penguins play.
Ah, gotcha.
Guys, don't look now. The Blues are only 6 points back of a playoff spot.
Yeah,
we
we've covered
discussed
this.
that. We
Yes.
did with the Vaughn Index.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, I'm looking at now. Now I got it up. Let's see what the emoji is, Martin.
Mm-hmm.
When did he tweet this?
I don't know, it was like 4 or 5 o'clock yesterday.
Oh yeah, it's
I may have texted
surprised
him.
eyes. Yeah, it's
Is
like,
it the surprise?
It's like a tease. That's like a tease. Like, ooh, something's coming.
And then he made it, so then people thought, oh, this Quentin Coleman, who's a star player at Principia, decommitted from Wake Forest. So people said, oh, my God, we got Coleman. Next people, no, he's going to Providence. Oh, he's definitely
If
leaving.
he was going to leave,
Do you think that's how a coach would
the
announce
night
it?
before the most important game of the season by far.
And that's when he would make a funny tweet.
Knowing Josh Schertz's personality, even at like 5%, that's how he would handle it. Yeah, that's interesting.
So once he established to Stu, who's on site, that just leave it to your imagination, I texted him and said, my theory is you saw Kunderman leaving the tanning salon in Pittsburgh. He said, I like that as the best option.
the dish.
I'm concerned that every time the Billikens have a good year, we're going to have to go through this. Is Schertz leaving now? Now is he leaving? Now he's got to leave, right?
Nature of college athletics, really.
And then with Drinkwitz, nobody's saying it, but it gets out there. Oh, my gosh, is he leaving? And Doug said, nobody said that.
Yeah.
Well, Board of Curators, emergency meeting later today.
More raises.
You think they'll have one today if the Billikens win their game?
If the Billikens win
Drink gets a
and
raise?
Schertz becomes a hot commodity, Drinkwitz gets another $1 million.
Makes sense.
Just to be safe.
You have to.
Right.
You have to.
You don't want them taking the slew vacancy
Absolutely
if Schertz is
not.
to leave.
Martin sounds like he just looked at the clock and said, oh, God, it's only 7:45, which is kind of funny. That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle. But he also sent an earlier text that said, Martin sounds like he just looked at the clock and said, oh, God, it's only 7:42.
I looked at the clock and said, I can't believe it's already 7:46.
Like it's flying by.
Yeah. That's the kind of program we offer here. You know?
I would never admit that in my news talk days, especially when I would fill in on Morning Drive, that every once in a while, like, look up, like, oh, gosh.
You ever heard the
We
term?
got an 8-minute window here, Doug, and it's a wide delta, and you can't really talk sports. Like, all right, let's get into it. I didn't like what I heard out of Egypt yesterday. He just like opened the door.
that was how you'd open segments.
969 begging for text. International theme.
When was the last time you did like what was coming out of Egypt?
Oh, man.
Well, those pyramids look pretty good.
You ever heard of the term microwave minutes?
No. Like in sports?
Well, no. Whenever you microwave something, it feels like it takes way longer than like a minute that goes by, like when you're driving or something, like when you're not paying attention to the time. It's the same idea as like a watch pot never boils.
I've heard that phrase, yes.
Okay.
Because you're watching a thing and hurry up. Come on.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
okay. Staring at something, wanting it to speed up.
Right.
It's not going
like
to
you're really hungry and you finally have cracked open the fresh pack of Hot Pockets and you got a minute 45 in the crisping sleeve and it's going to take a while.
And you're hammered. addendum to
And then
Paper's little story.
You fall asleep in the minute 45 it took to heat it, and you wake up the next morning with an ice cold Hot Pocket sitting in your microwave.
And you contemplate eating it.
Yeah, you probably do.
A fun fact for the audience, we don't have a clock in here. I never know what time it is.
Not like like an analog.
Well, we
clock.
have the
have a segment
we have the
timer.
segment clock.
That box in front of your face usually has the time down in the corner.
Wow.
It's always your own guys.
Yeah, you guys are going to have to drop the mitt.
It's always your own guys. I can't even see this jackass behind me, and he's trying to tell me this computer. I know it has down in the far. I don't know if I can even read that. It is. It is 7:48 on the screen in front of me. What I'm saying is, there's not a prominent, which I always thought was kind of weird.
Yeah.
If you did want to look around and see what time is it right now.
I have a question for maybe educators or parents of young children.
Educators, call in.
Okay.
974-0101. Please do. What do you
Are
got?
they teaching how to read an analog clock these days?
Like the minute and the hand?
Yeah. I would think, but you don't really have much use for them anymore.
My last time in education, the kindergartners had the little
the tools to learn how to do
with
it.
a hand that spins. Yeah. So
It's important to learn, but I also don't think it's all that practical.
No, but you'd think a reasonable brain could pick it up in
I'm
about
not saying it's hard.
30 minutes worth of teaching?
I only learned it because that's what we had in the classroom. That's how long I knew the class until class was over.
We had sundials.
Right. Yeah.
We would love to have had a standard clock.
Yeah. The sundial was invented, what, your first year in Rochester, Minnesota?
Yeah. Before that, you just looked at the sun, did your best.
And then was in absolute panic that the sun wouldn't return the next morning.
Yeah. Where'd it go? I'm sure there was centuries of humans saying, what the hell is going on with the sun?
Yeah.
Where's it going?
Right.
We could probably
Terror strikes the world.
could probably fill the whole show just reading text from Jugs in D.C. I'm just looking back. We've missed about 8 or 9 of them, and the last one says, "Are you blank offs really talking about what time it is?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean?
He also told us Mizzou's screwed. Sorry, Papers.
Oh, okay. Is he on the selection committee?
Mizzou's an objectively bad team. That's from Jugs in D.C.
Objectively.
No, they're not a bad.
And then he gave us a fun fact. GW, George Washington, struggles in states that Trump won. Fun fact. But there really is a stat for everything.
Gosh.
Guys, my kid is 4. He can't read a clock, but he sure knows how to skip ads on YouTube and pick a new show. Really teaching them right. That's from Fat Thor. That's one I haven't read in a while.
Thor
Fat
sounds like
Thor.
somebody who'd be kind of beefy.
That's
Really?
the,
Husky?
He's the god of thunder
Yeah.
in Norse mythology.
Okay.
Son of Odin. I told you I'm on a real Viking kick.
But you talk about learning meaningless things. Norse mythology.
It's interesting.
It's just made up crap.
It's not. Well, the mythology.
absolutely made up
The mythology is, but like the Vikings are an interesting.
Yes, that is.
Yeah.
But to think that we spent so much of our schooling learning about things like that.
What about Greek
that really
mythology?
has next to no practical implication in your life.
Right, but it's like reading fiction.
Yeah, same thing.
Nothing wrong with that.
Well, just the act that you're reading is
Yeah.
helpful.
Right.
But you could be reading things that are really going to help you in your life more than Norse mythology or Greek mythology.
I don't like your tone.
Somebody pointed out cursive writing is also sort of dying. That's
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
You tell a kid now, like, hey, sign your name.
Right.
And they start to kind of print it. No. Sign your name.
That's the only reason we learned cursive when I was in school, was to learn how to sign our name. Outside of that, cursive would have next to no practical use.
Yeah.
Right,
Would you
write someone a letter.
Yeah, Dennis Gates. Dear Coach Gates, I've been looking at some of the film, had some suggestions for you. Signed, Papers.
I have a theory that cursive writing was written or invented for the illiterate who couldn't really write out their words. So they were like, this is fancy writing.
No, you can write so much faster.
Yeah, I get that.
Years ago, like my parents' generation, they all took penmanship was a big part of school.
Right.
They all had beautiful handwriting.
Yeah.
Well, most people did.
Right.
A lot of them did. Had great handwriting.
Who doesn't love a good clock? That's from Packer Dave. Dave, it's right. I think you'd love a good clock, even if you don't know how to read it. Yeah, it's pretty nice accessory in the room there. The text is just firing off fast and furious. Some of it basketball related. Some of it telling us that Fat Thor is from Guardians of the Galaxy.
It's from Avengers.
Okay.
He got fat in Avengers Endgame. That's played by, of course, Chris Hemsworth. He of the family Hemsworth.
Or the famous Chris's. Aren't there a bunch of Chris's?
Chris
They're all
Evans,
kinda
Chris
came-
Hemsworth, Chris Pratt,
Yeah,
all of
they all
those
kinda
people in
came along at the
Avengers.
same
Well, they're all
time.
in Avengers.
Oh, they are?
Uh-huh.
I think the studio just said, give me one of the Chris's, and then they got all of them.
Yeah, that's right.
That's how it works?
Sure, why not? It's a popular name.
Okay.
Do you prefer Christopher or Christian?
Christopher, Christian.
Because you can't just assume with a Chris that it's a Christopher.
No,
I kind of like Christian. That's nice.
I think it's a good name, too.
rolls off the tongue a little better.
And who's our guy? Christian Slater.
Yeah,
Kind of an oddball actor.
sure, but he's in True Romance, which rocks.
Yeah. And that's an early Tarantino.
Tarantino
right?
wrote the script,
Oh, okay.
sold it to Tony Scott, brother of Ridley, and he used the money that he made from that script to make Reservoir Dogs.
Okay. And then Christian Bale. So
Yes.
Christian. So these guys, something about them kind of have a weird vibe.
Sure.
Unique, to say the least. Doug, this is not Stick and Puck. That's been covered, right?
No.
We're in 7-2. Local Rock in 7-3. Then Vitale. Later Gabe DeArmond. Death, Taxes, and Papers. is the 8-2. Is this Joe Lunardi? That's audio of Joe Lunardi. So we'll hear from the man, friend of the show, former guest on the show.
Because Miami lost, which means
Miami, Ohio 31-1, and now they're still debating whether they get in.
Well, I think that they're going to get in. I think the interesting thing is the bid stealing element. So now a team like Missouri is really rooting for SLU to win the A-10, to make the A-10 ideally a one-bid league just to the Billikens. We use VCU out of it so that there's no bid stealing going on, because we already are going to have a bid stealer in the MAC.
But what if GW or some other A-10 team wins it, then SLU is the second team, and then VCU gets squeezed?
Yeah, you definitely don't want 3 bids out of the A-10 if you're a team like Missouri.
That's not going to happen, right?
Right.
So,
well, unless... Yeah, I think VCU kind of needs to. Well, I don't know. Does VCU need to win the A-10 tournament?
What if they get to the
in?
championship, SLU gets bounced today, then are you worried?
Yeah, if it's a 3-bid league, that's not great for Missouri.
Oh, for Missouri, yeah. I'm saying
Well, for SLU, I think SLU's going to be in no matter what.
You think they're in no matter what? Feels that
unless way. Unless Avila is like really brutal, like can't do it today with his foot, and they get smoked. But even then, I think they would get in.
It'd be hard to leave them out at this point. They've been ranked almost the entire second half of the year. They have 27 victories.
I'm not ruling it out, but I don't think it'll happen.
Has the basketball committee ever talked about injuries? You know, in football, they love famously Florida State.
Yeah.
So, their quarterback's injured. Sorry. I don't think
it's such a closed-door thing where you don't really know what's going on. I would have to think that's part of it, how you've been playing the last 2 or 3 weeks. Because I think that's probably part of it, but what do I know?
Here's a request, or actually an invitation. Happy birthday, Burke.
Yo.
Come over tonight. I'll get you some Lee's Famous Fried Chicken. I'll give you a foot rub.
Sweet.
How about that?
Sweet Kai.
Nice.
How'd you know that? Did he already tell you that?
If he starts with Burke, that's what a lot of my friends would call me.
Okay. He didn't call you comrade.
He did not.
Or Charcoal.
Nope.
Burkett.
Nope.
Who would you rather have in the tourney? A crap Mizzou team with questionable effort, or a plucky Cinderella possibility in Miami, Ohio? Easy choice, Jackson. That's from Fred Dreyer's Mushroom Mark.
I know they're just trying to get my goad, but if you saw the second half against Kentucky last night and you think little effort from Missouri, I would have to question your basketball acumen.
I do feel bad for that. Mark Mitchell, it's like, what happened to Jaden Stone? What happened to T.O. Barrett?
Jaden Stone was pretty much stapled to the bench the last 10 minutes of that game.
It's a weird deal. Like, by now, you kind of know who your team is. You really don't.
But that's a Gates thing. He picks up how guys are playing in that moment. And is like, if you're not at the level I think you need to be in this game, you will stay on the bench. He's weird like that. He'll have giant rotations and then he'll tighten it up right at the right time. Like Jaden Stone wasn't doing anything I thought to stay in that game. At least Anthony Robinson defensively was making some plays.
He's a mystery, though. Ant Robinson, at the beginning of the year, it's like the big two. Mitchell and Robinson. I
do like to see the Miami of Ohio's get in the tournament, though.
100%.
The tournament needs some of those teams to add to the charm.
For sure. They also got to, not allow the mid-major squeeze out that's been going on with not being able to play these Power 5 teams. They can't allow that to, I don't think they can allow that to hinder a team's ability to get into the tournament when they go 31-0 in the regular season.
Yeah. Or when you're SLU begging some teams to play you non-conference and they won't do it, and then claim, well, we're in the SEC, so we should get in, even if we go 500.
Right. Like Auburn going in over someone like a SLU or a Miami or maybe even like a VCU would be like a huge crime, and then something would need to get fixed with the way the selection committee works or the way that scheduling works, because that would be, to me, a travesty. I'm not saying Auburn getting in would be a travesty, but if it's omitting one of these other teams.
Texter said, "Have you not seen the latest Joe Lunardi bracketology came out at midnight? We referenced that early. Referenced it early in the show. Billikens in that bracket, number 10, a 10 seed. Now they're going a little bit of a run this weekend. Probably improve your status there. Piddles, don't let any of the Cretans get you down. Enjoy your day." That's from Sharon and Clayton, who also said Charcoal Burkett. Hilarious. Shout out to whoever came up with that one. That was a texter, was it not, that came up with Charcoal Burkett?
It's really like,
it's not your friend.
Do you think I've lived 28 years without someone calling me Charcoal before I was on this program?
Like 3rd grade, 4th grade.
It takes one person walking past a Kingsford section at the grocery store to say, "Oh, that's like your last name, Charcoal Burkett." I'm not diminishing the joke. I'm not trying to hate on anyone's hustle, yuck anyone's yum. But it's
what?
It's not. It's not the first time I've heard that.
Okay.
You don't want to yuck anyone's yum.
Yeah.
Okay.
Quit drinking the Kool-Aid. Gates is a mid-level coach. nice guys finish last. Somebody else said that Gates is 1-11 in his last.
That is such a cherry-picked stat because he went 5-2 in his first year in March. And so they omit that. They include the year that they went 0-18 in the conference, but then don't include when he goes 5-2 his first year. You can look at his record in March. You can not like the way the team plays. He's likely going to go to 3 out of 4 tournaments in his first 4 years as a coach. To me, and he's bringing in the #1 recruiting class in the country. To me, that's a pretty good indicator that you got a good guy. And if you like the way he conducts himself, I certainly do. I think that's an added bonus.
And you forget the dark, dark days of Kim Anderson. Unfortunately, nice guy. They were just god awful. And I'm not saying you always look, well, we can't do any better. We'll just be happy to be 8-4 in football. We get mad because Mizzou football kind of plateaus. But I think there's body of work, enough good things. Right. Still frustrating.
Yeah.
At times, for sure.
But his job status is not on the bubble.
No. As Gabe said, I think a week or two ago, it's like if you're out there like trying to, blow the horn for a Gates firing, you just hate Dennis Gates for whatever reason.
What if the Josh Schertz emoji tweet, as random as it was making fun of Mizzou? Like, you could interpret it so. One of these days, he'll be in here again in the studio, I'm sure, and we'll say, "What's the deal with the? Were you making fun of George Mason?" Like, it just left it open to interpretation. Right. Happy birthday, Papers, Mahomes long body.
Thank you.
A lot of folks giving you a shout out. One of the times, I've already lost track here, said, "Don't let the fats get you down, Papers, even though they're right."
Oh.
I don't know what that means.
Whatever.
Guys, you forget Kim Anderson won the D2 National Championship at UCM the year before coming to Mizzou.
He did. Yeah. He had a stellar record in Division II.
I wish we had the drop of his opening press conference where he got up there and said he listened to sports radio on the way in. And he said, "I was listening to the radio, and apparently I'm old."
He was a good player back in the day.
Sure. 6'10".
Yeah, every bit of that. Yeah, he was good.
Quamain Voyukis IV, Billiken correspondent. Martin was a shot at Kim English.
But he's been kind of like announced being fired for a while. Is that what he's referencing? Or Providence?
I mean, Kim English is toast at Providence.
Yeah, he's all but gone. I mean, I think they've kind of announced that he's gone. What kind of text was that?
That was from Quamain Voyukis IV, who wants to play. He wants to tell me my ass is grass. He wants you to play one-on-one. He's 6'1", 205. You're 6'1", 185-ish.
Yeah, I'm confident.
I'll give your letterboard account a like for your birthday. That's from Lion's Choice Enthusiast.
Shout out.
That?
Jackie
Movie Boy drops tomorrow.
Yep. Jackie Papers 23 on Letterboxd if you want to get hip.
Is that true?
Mm-hmm.
What does that even mean?
Letterboxd? It's like a movie social media website app.
Will you be going to that red carpet Oscar party they have at the High Point Theater?
No. Although I love the High Point Theater, and I hope it stays open forever. But no, I won't be. I just like to watch. I don't do all the pageantry. Oh. And I only I half watch. Okay. I'm kind of doing other things because there's a lot of pomp and circumstance.
You think? Yeah.
Jackson, can I ask you a random Hoop Rock question?
Always.
Random Hoop Rock questions. Chairman Kurt, fire away.
I've never played, not 1 second of organized basketball have I ever played.
You'd be a good pick setter.
Yeah.
Good wide base.
You'd set a mean pick.
I've never heard someone being described as a good pick setter.
Does that not fit?
I'm going to start using that.
As a player, would you be less likely to have a respect for a coach if he was like excessively short?
No. But I mean, like you're asking, like I have a player. I basically warmed Pine at my last 2 years of varsity basketball.
Red Auerbach wasn't very tall.
No, but
like my ears perked up when you said Kim Anderson was 6'10", and I know he had a record before Mizzou, but does he have like a built-in equity?
No, I think the way the coach conducts himself and how they, consistency, to me, like disciplining their star player as much as they discipline the last guy on the bench throughout. Consistency, the way they coach, kind of like you see their prep. Like to me, that's all stuff that's more important than like if they've even played. Like Josh Schertz didn't play a ton of basketball, or at a very high level, but like he's an outstanding basketball
and
coach.
Not the tallest.
Mike Krzyzewski, played basketball, but was certainly not the a world ender when it comes to basketball.
It's not the most important thing, but it does give you a little bit of credit.
I mean, I could see a scenario where you've got this team of 6'8", 6'9" guys. If you've got a 5'6" coach, they're looking down like this little guy's talking to me like this.
Yeah, I think it gives them a little bit of credibility. But if you prove as a coach that it doesn't matter, I think the players would forget about that pretty quickly.
Right, like Pat Ewing, one of the greatest basketball players of all time, he was not good at Georgetown as a coach.
You know, with their height, who was intimidating? John Thompson was intimidating.
Oh, yeah.
He
Big
could
John.
Just kind of lurking, prowling on the sideline with
Bill
the
Russell's
towel over his
backup.
shoulder.
Juwan Howard, because he might,
You know,
he might catch a slap.
Because you know, as a fellow coach, he might hit you. Guy's shirts is a living Billiken. Look at him this morning.
That's not nice.
It is kind of nice that your coach looks like a Billiken.
It looks like the mascot. Would you like Gates more if he looked more like a tiger?
He does his best with that gold tie. They were talking about it on the broadcast yesterday. Was that Carl Ravitch? I think it was Carl Ravitch. That he was given a pair of shoes right before he got to Cleveland State, and that's the exact same pair of shoes, dress shoes, he wears for every single game.
Wow.
Which I like. I think
So that's
cool.
been years now.
Yeah, he says they had to change the laces out because they got worn out.
I would think they would.
But the shoes themselves are the same.
More birthday invites. Pale coming over tonight. Ash will take you to the master bedroom. I'll take Kai down to the basement. Make a man out of him. That's when they're covering alcoholics. So he wants you and Kai to come over for various reasons.
I love the term "make a man out of him." It says so much without saying anything.
Guys, if you keep talking hoops, I'm going to Toonces into the Mariana Trench.
Toonces.
Swerve the car. That's the cat, the driving cat on SNL.
Okay. And you're going to go to the deepest part of the ocean?
I think that's what they're
the
saying.
hell did that mean? Block him. Block him.
Well, now I got to go back and see who said that. Oh, gosh, I don't even know where it was. It's really... When people say you don't read my text, it's hard to...
You can't read them all.
It's unbelievable. I'll say, there it goes. It just flew by. Well, I'll read... Nope. Gone. Quain Vayukis IV did clarify. He said Kim English took a shot at the Billikens the other day. Now, there's a lot of online chatter between Providence fans and SLU fans because Providence Nation, are they nationalists, Friar nationalist papers, that think Josh Schertz will take the Providence job. Kim English is on his way out. After George Mason drilled SLU on that same day, Kim English wrapped up his particular press conference for Providence and said, how about those Patriots? Now, is he just proud of his former team that he used to coach? Or was he kind of saying, haha, that's the coach you want to replace me? I don't know. Is that reading too much into it?
I think he's just shouting at his former team, if I had to guess.
But by some, and I think that's what Vayukis is talking about.
I don't think he'd leave St. Lucie for Providence.
No.
Yeah, that'd be a sideways move if ever there was
I mean,
one.
it's a bigger conference. They apparently got a lot of money, but I asked Keno Davis. I mean, there's a lot of coaches who've gone, even Kim English. I don't know. I think Ed Cooley wishes he had stayed. He kind of had it up and running.
Yeah.
He's Banty. They're all Banty.
He is Banty.
Name a coach that isn't Banty.
There's
Dennis
not
Gates
many.
rarely gets Banty.
Yeah, Mark Pope.
Yeah, he doesn't get as Banty as... You know who gets Banty is that Porter Mosier. And he's got a face that already... He has a face that looks like he's been Banty for so
like a
long. It got
mascot.
stuck. It got stuck in Banty.
Nick Cronin's a little bandy.
Oh, my God. He's
One of the
Banty
Banty-ists.
Mount Rushmore.
One of the Banty-ists.
Porter Mosier tells some of the best Majerus stories when he was on the staff at SLU. And he said they were on a recruiting trip, and they're on the highway. And for a while, there was no Culvers in Missouri, but they were big in Wisconsin. That's where they started. And Majerus, we know, like to eat. And Porter Mosier says they're rolling down the highway, and there's a sign like next to exit Culver. And he said, Majerus, hey, they got a Culver's up here. Hey, how about that? And he said immediately, blinker on, they get off. He said they're like 40 miles down the road. He said, Majerus goes, there's another Culver's. He said, and he gets off the highway.
Two of my favorite coaches, who no longer coach anymore, but I felt didn't get too Banty all the time, Jim Larinaga, Tony Bennett. Those are like two of my favorite coaches ever.
Classy people.
And they just seldom got Banty. I mean, they would certainly get animated sometimes, but not to the level of like a Dan Hurley or McKernan.
And 20 years ago, Jim Larinaga took George Mason to the Final Four.
He sure did.
And then didn't seem to be a fit at Miami, but had some good teams.
He had some really good teams.
Yeah, but I mean, I didn't feel
He does
like
not
a
feel
Miami
like
guy.
a Miami. Although he did have he has the little accent mark over the N in his name.
Tilde.
Yeah, Tilda.
Like Tony Bennett, I think he'll resurface at some point.
I don't think so.
He's a Lakers consultant now. Did you see that?
Yeah, I could see him maybe doing something like a GM,
NBA assistant,
maybe like a president of basketball ops, like a Danny Ainge does in Utah. I think he's that good a basketball mind to do something like that. I just don't think he wants to deal with the current state of college athletics.
Ask Jackson if he knows Common did a basketball movie called Justin Wright. That's from Mike in Smithton, Illinois. Doug, how's everybody up in Smithton,
Well,
Illinois?
I assume they're doing just fine.
Well, no, I never saw that film.
Basketball movie called Justin Wright.
There's not a ton of awesome basketball movies, gotta be honest with you. There's Hoosiers.
What's our Jesus
Air
Shuttleworth?
He Got Game is a good
Did
one.
you say Air Bud?
Air Bud. Why
He
would you
Got
hate
Game.
that?
Blue Chips.
The Air Up There
The Air Up There.
with Kevin Bacon.
I don't know if I've seen that one.
Oof.
The Great Santini is a basketball movie.
Yes, it is. What about Fast Break?
I don't know if I saw that.
How
one.
about Son of Flubber?
Son of Flubber?
Or yeah. That was Fred
Robin-
McMurray invented
oh.
some sort of rubber that you put on your shoes,
Yeah.
and you could jump real high.
From 1962?
Something like that.
From today's headline.
What about The Fish That Saved Pittsburgh, starring Dr. J?
Okay. All right. Maybe I'm coming around on some of these pictures. Teen Wolf, of course, a basketball movie.
Was it?
One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest.
There's a good basketball scene.
Basketball movie.
Yeah, it's a good basketball
Yep.
scene.
Choose Wrigley gum.
Yeah, talk about pick
Juicy
setter.
fruit.
Chief.
Come on, Chief. Put it in the basket. It's like 7 feet. Just put it up and in, Chief, huh? All right, that's more Archie Bunker than Jack Nicholson. We got a break. Joey Vitale, speaking of random topics, he is next Blues on a heater right now. They win again. They won 5 straight on the road. He's back, I guess, late night from Carolina. We'll talk some pucks with Joey Vitale. Mizzou breakdown. What do you think of the Tigers' chances on Sunday? Gabe DeArmond coming up at 9. We are in the 7 o'clock hour that's now given way to the 8 o'clock hour, but it was, for a while there, the Healthcare Evolution 7 o'clock hour. Brown and Crouppen, presenting sponsor here of TMA on 101 ESPN. Hey, I'm always proposing a little time to hang out with papers. We always throw it around on the show. Never happens. Maybe Saturday. That's the day that the tasting room is open for 1879 Distilling. It's right there at the Village Bar. So if you're heading up there this weekend, I'm sure that Billiken game will be on early. Doors open at 11. Catch the SLU game. Grab a little lunch up there. And then on Saturday, come on back. All the games will be on. That's always happening at Village Bar. But then the tasting room is noon to 5 on Saturdays. 1879 Distilling. Started in the last few years by the folks that run Village Bar, and they've already started to pick up some awards. Premium spirits like Red Barn Vodka, 1879 Rye, 1879 Bourbon. Did this in the early days. They said, this is kind of what it was like in St. Louis. The German heritage back in the 1800s had all these distilleries down on the river, and it's a hit. Ask for it by, I don't know why I yelled, it's a hit. Ask for it by name. 1879 Distilling. Stop by Village Bar. You already know it's a great place to meet friends, take the family. Great food, reasonably priced. And on Saturday, make those plans. Noon to 5. Tasting room is open. It's a really cool little bar that is connected to the Village Bar. You just don't see it often. Open on Saturdays. Stop by and see them or read more online at 1879distilling.com, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is Jackson with a SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Blues win yesterday against the Carolina Hurricanes. Back in action tonight, taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Pregame at 6, puck drop at 7, right here on 101 ESPN. That was another SportsCenter update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. All right, sounds good. Let me put you on hold.
TMA, the morning after on 101 ESPN. Martin's here. Doug, Jackson, Chairman Kurt, and it's Friday. That means it's time to check in with Joey Vitale, fresh off a trip to Carolina, where the Blues beat the Hurricanes 3-1 last night. And just as Doug predicted, this Blues team will just heat up just enough to pull you back in, at least just a little bit. Joey, welcome in. How are you?
No Tim today?
No.
Oh, you going to hang up? You going to hang up?
Oh, man. Okay.
Are you on the
Trying to get
treadmill?
through
Are you
it.
on the treadmill?
You guys know. You guys got big shoes to fill once again. Where's Tim?
Well, it's kind of funny because he doesn't have big shoes. But you're right. I get the reference for sure. What time did you get back?
I think I got to bed at like 2 a.m.
Okay, not bad.
Yeah, not too bad. Got my couple hours. Feeling good, boys. Ready to go tonight. Back to back. Connor McDavid coming to town.
Oh, no. It just happens quick. Where were you? You guys were in the wood. We had Strickland on yesterday, and these birds appeared to be attacking him like a giant falcon in the back. He said you guys were in a remote location.
Oh, my gosh. Okay, so we get on the bus for the game, and he's like, dude, this, like, mutant hornet was attacking me. I'm like, what? He goes, yeah, it was like this, like, it was like a bird. It was a hornet. It was trying to sting me. And he took a picture of it. So I go, let me see it. He pulls out his camera and he shows me this. It was a wood bee. You know, like those big
Carpenter kind of?
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, they like pollinate the flowers. I don't even think they have stingers. Anyway, they're loud and they're, you see them around St. Louis. They're like, they kind of do their thing, but they don't bother you. But anyway, he's like, I couldn't even do my hit. I was like terrified for my life. I'm like, Andy, that was a wood bee. They're not going to do anything except make your flowers look pretty and pollinate.
He was terrified for his life.
Oh, horrible. He's the last person I think I would ever want to survive in the woods with. We do this on the rush every now and then. I draw all these hypotheticals. Hey, if the plane goes down, who's the one guy you want to put in charge of landing this plane? Or hey, if you have to survive in the wilderness, who's the one guy on this team you want to have with you? I think Andy would fall to the bottom of pretty much everyone's list.
Who would be at the top?
Pilot's license, or it's close. So there's no doubt about that one right there.
Who was that you cut out when you said the,
you cut out
said
just
the name?
The key moment.
Oh, sorry, Colton Parayko.
Oh,
okay.
For the plane, because I think he's got his pilot's license. His brother's a pilot, like a commercial pilot in Canada. He like flies to Hawaii, and I know Colton, which I don't even know how he flies in those little airplanes, but he's close to getting his pilot's license. So if anyone was going to help me, it'd probably be Colton.
I'll be darned.
Wow, how about that? No wonder he didn't want to go to Buffalo. He's got to fly you around.
That's right. That's right.
How do you think this has played out? Do you believe that there's some sort of a unifying sense, like, hey, they're going to break this team up, they're going to trade some guys? I mean, we saw a little bit of that last year. How do you explain the current run they've been on?
Yeah, I mean, really, it's one. I mean, I know that you can certainly look like that. You know, I remember that feeling when I was in Arizona, and everyone was going after Connor McDavid and Jack Eichel. Those were the two top guys in 15. And the year before that draft, it was Edmonton, Arizona, and Buffalo. And all three general managers pretty much just wanted to tank. I don't think Doug Armstrong by any means was trying to tank. So this is not quite like that, but I'll give you perspective on what it's like for the players. When we felt that, we just hit it in supercharge, right? And we just wanted to win at all costs, really, because you're on the wrong side of the business if you're a player in those situations. So again, I don't think by any stretch of the imagination that Doug did this. I think Doug made the right moves. I think you had to move on from some 2 older veterans. And the biggest thing you're seeing is that you had to give way for this younger group to really see what they can do. I think what people are seeing, it isn't really a management thing. This is just players coming out of their comfort zone and starting to play the brand of hockey that I think they wanted to see them do. So they're living up to the expectation and the hopes that Doug Armstrong and Alexander Steen were looking forward to. So really, to me, it's a positive from every direction. So you got the young guys developing well now. They're coming out of their own, right? They're developing into the players they need to be because they're not living in the shadows of veteran players. And, guys, you got 3 first-round picks coming up this upcoming draft. So to me, it's a win-win for all the reasons that I'm just laying out right there. Not to mention the biggest thing that you're noticing in the last 5-6 games is 2 things. You're getting great goaltending from 2 great goaltenders that we've seen all year long. When you got goalies like that, they're going to give you a chance to win every single night. Last night was no different for Jordan Binnington. The saves he made in that first period, the fact that it was only 1-0, you got to really tip your hat to number 50. Last week we're in San Jose, same thing. Jordan was incredible. Joe Hofer has been on his game as well. So good goaltending is keeping you in every single night. And the other thing that's standing out is they've been very opportunistic about their chances. The ones that they're shooting, they're going in. 14 shots on goal in the San Jose game last week. They won in overtime. Not much more last night. And, of course, they win and beat a very good Carolina team. So they're finding their game. They're finding the rhythm on the road right now. Winners of the last 5. And, guys, these are no slouchy teams. At Minnesota, at Carolina, at San Jose, at the Ducks, at Seattle. All playoff teams, and some of these teams actually atop their division. So beating some very good teams on the road. It is hard to believe and a shame at times to think that they went 10 straight on the road from December 20th to March 1st, losing. And I think as you look throughout this season, where did they go wrong? What stretch of the season did it really hurt them? Guys, I think it was that road play for those 10 games from the end of December all the way to March 1. So they are finding the rhythm. They're finding their groove. To me, it's just 2 thumbs up, way up for this group that's going to continue to grow, be in these tight games, and just let these guys go out there and go. Not to mention he has some great draft picks coming up.
Yeah, about a week ago, we were thinking maybe they'd get the first overall pick and forget about the playoffs. And now here they are, only 6 points out of the wild card. Should we be thinking possible playoffs, or is that still just kind of a pipe dream?
It's not. Listen, I'm always an optimist, Doug. I mean, I'm always a hopeful guy. I'm always looking, hey, let's just reach for something. I think the biggest thing is you want to play purposeful hockey at this time of the year. To get in this year, it's not out of the equation. It's going to be very difficult because you're right. You're 6 points out, I think, now as officially as today. The issue becomes when San Jose, that team you're chasing that second wild card spot now, who just bumped up themselves up there last night with a win, they still have 2 games in hand, right? So you got to keep an eye on those 2 games in hand. Certainly that's 4 points up for grabs that San Jose has that St. Louis just doesn't have the ability to grab anymore. So that's where I think the analytics, when you see like 1% to 2% chance to get into the playoffs, that's where it really stands out. Not just the points behind and the limited amount of games left, it's also those games in hand. So not out of the equation, but I will say this. For a young team, for young guys growing, the Dvorskys, the Mayhews, the Theo Lindsteins, who just played a second career game last night, you want to play meaningful hockey at this time of the year. That's everything, right? The heck with the number 1, the heck with top 5, the heck with top 10. If you want to take care of your franchise moving forward, the best thing you can do for these young kids is play meaningful hockey. That game last night, you're in Carolina, one of the best teams in the whole league, right? It's a 2-1 game. There's a timeout, and Logan Mayhew, helps win the faceoff, and he punts the puck to the neutral zone to get it out. That is so valuable for a young player. A Theo Lindstein going up against the Sebastian Aho line in his second career game. You can't mimic that. I don't care how hard these guys train in the summer, how many sprints they do, how much they can squat. You have to be in those situations to really develop into the player and to the team you want to. Jimmy Snuggerud, can't tell you what that does for his confidence last night. So the flip side is, right now, if you're the New York Rangers, the Vancouver Canucks, and you're losing 4-1, 5-0, 3-0 every single night, that is a crushing thing for your franchise, in my opinion, because it sets this losing culture. Yeah, you may get a top 3 pick, but guys, some of these top 3 picks still never pan out. So it's kind of it's a coin flip when it comes to the draft. Remember, we took Robert Thomas at number 20, and now he's a franchise center. So you never know what's going to happen in this draft. Matthew Tkachuk, he was not taking top 5 either. So you look at how these things shake out. The draft to me is still a coin flip. You want to compete. You want to win. You want to develop, because what we're seeing right now, especially over these last 6 games, this is going to help this team come next October, and there's no doubt about that.
I wonder if Armstrong and Steen, how you look at this, because a year ago, maybe they kind of fooled everybody by having that unbelievable run, and maybe they were just kind of over their skis and everything just fell into place. So if they do a little bit of a version of that this year, does it change how he views this group? Because it feels like a week ago it was like, all right, we got to blow it up. We got to rebuild, or, not totally rebuild. But I wonder if they rethink and they start looking at what they have. Because I think some of the players, maybe like a Robert Thomas, were a little surprised how the front office viewed this group. Like, players think, hey, we're pretty close. And maybe that's historically how players feel. But I just wonder if they do make a little run here where they play some really good hockey, if Armstrong and Steen then look at the summer differently. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do, Marty. I'm not going to put that in your top questions of all time.
Okay. It was more of a statement. I know it was more of a statement.
It was more of a statement. Yeah, I don't know how to answer that question. So let me take it in any direction I want, if you will. I hope it enlightens you to some degree, because you're better than that. At the end of the day, you're better than that.
Oh, God.
Was it a good theme at least?
It was an okay theme. It was an average
Question.
question,
Okay,
but
wow.
I am going to save the day and answer it and bring it above and beyond where it needs to be. No, I think I see what you're saying, and it's a hard question to ask because there's so much up in the air and there's so much we just don't know. But what I can say is that you look at the moves that they made, where they moved out 2 veterans, right? They almost moved out 3 veterans, right? If Colton Parayko accepts the no trade, that's 3 pieces, older pieces, established pieces that have been here for a while that they're trying to turn the page on, right? I think in 2023, they wanted to turn a big page, and they did, right? You lose O'Reilly, you lose Tarasenko, you lose Barbashev, Mikkola, Noel Acciari. Those are the big pieces lost. Now, what did you bring in? You brought in some first-round draft picks. Well, guess what? All 3 of those first-round draft picks were in the game last night, with Dalibor Dvorsky, Otto Stenberg, and then Theo Lindstein. So you're starting to see how it's going to kind of pop up and it's going to sprout up here and there now from what that was. I think the same thing is going to happen. But I think that they're looking at this core, the way I've felt it, they're looking at the Thomases, the Buchneviches, and the Kyrus, and the Mayus right now. You're looking at, Philip Broberg, Dylan Holloway. This group, something was holding them back this year. Right. And I think that they looked at we still got some older pieces. They're not going to say are in the way, but they're hindering this group, this younger core group, to fully take on a new dimension. And I think that that's where they went. They could have gone a couple ways. They could have gotten rid of the young group and kept the old group. Right. I mean, and they decided not to. They decided to get rid of, their captain and your assistant captain and Falcon Shen and almost Parayko. Right, but they knew that they had to see what the Thomas, Kyrou, Mayu, Holloway, whole crew, Snuggerud in the mix. What can this group do when it's their team, where they're not living in anyone's shadow? And guys, we're seeing exactly what they're doing. Now it's early, right? Is this sustainable forever? Well, I don't know, because we're getting great goaltending right now. If the goaltending starts to slide, maybe we start seeing more losses. But you have to really appreciate how they are winning these games against really good teams, especially in the other team's building. So. That, to me, is the answer to the question, Marty, and I really go back to the conversation I had with the captain. This is 2 days before he was traded, and he didn't know if he was going to be traded. We're sitting there in Seattle, and we're having a quick conversation, and his comments, I think, align with Doug Armstrong and Alexander Steen, and to your point, which is this team was not far off. He said it himself, because I don't think we're as bad as our record shows. I think we got the goaltender, which he called, quote-unquote, nasty, and Joel Hofer. He's going to be a gamer for a long time. So to me, that's the foundation piece. He's like, but you look at these young kids and how they're coming along. Braden himself, he said, this team is maybe a piece or 2 away from being a legitimate contender again. That this isn't, and this is a guy that still was on the team, and he really believed that. And Braden does not blow smoke, right? He is very direct. He's very honest. He's the one in that locker room. So I take what he says very seriously. So I think that's what you're seeing. You lose a couple veteran pieces. You're realizing that, man, these young kids can play hockey. They can play hockey very well. We have a great coach in Jim Montgomery that is very good at developing young talent. So now you see what you are, and you head into the offseason if it continues this way. And you're right. You maybe add just that one other piece. Maybe you go find a second-line center somewhere that can give you a little bit more stability in the middle. Or maybe it's just one more right-shot defenseman. someone that can kind of anchor that middle pair. Something along those lines, yeah, you're 1-2 pieces away, because with the goaltending you have and the young growth we've already seen, this team is going to make this turnaround very, very quickly.
Snuggerud seems to have certainly upped his game the last few games. Last 4 games, he's got 9 points and 5 goals. He got 20 minutes of ice time last night. What do you think is the ceiling for him? How good can this guy be?
He is going to be, I think he's going to be a 40-goal scorer in the league one day. You know, he's tied with the team lead at 15 in his rookie campaign. You know, Doug, keep in mind he missed, 4 to 5 weeks with a wrist injury, which really hindered him. So without being out, he could be easily over the 20-goal mark. I think he's going to get to the 20-goal mark this year because of how hot he's shooting right now. So if he gets to 20 in his first year, he's just going to continue to grow. I think that he's got a little bit of what Kyrou has, in the sense he's got the knack for the net. But I actually think he's got a little bit better of a shot than Jordan Kyrou. And with Kyrou, you're looking at the last 3 seasons. He's obviously had a down year this year, but the previous 3 seasons, he's had 30-plus goals. So I think we're looking at a consistent 30-plus goal scorer and a kid that could eventually hit that 40-goal plateau, because he's got the shot, but he also can make plays. He also can forecheck and do the little things. I mean, that goal last night, and if you haven't seen it, go back and look at it again. His game-winning goal in the third period late, he makes a pass in the neutral zone, right? It gets through, it gets to the offensive zone. It starts to kind of mill around a little bit. It's a 50-50 puck between him and Jordan Staal, who, by the way, is like the biggest, strongest centerman in the National Hockey League. Even at age 37, he can still giddy up and go. 50-50 puck in the corner, and you see Snuggerud's 3 strides. It's just like boom, boom, boom. He explodes for 3 strides, wins a 50-50 battle, picks it below the net, and then he goes right to that soft area where he scores a game-winning goal. So, yeah, the shot was great, but the pass in the neutral zone was probably as good. And then, of course, the forecheck, where he can compete like that, that's what makes goal scorers so great. Like the Kaprizov, Doug, that kid, Kirill Kaprizov in Minnesota, yeah, he's got a boatload of points. Yeah, he's the richest man in hockey. But people don't appreciate enough how hard he plays. He's a competitive little kid. He doesn't just get open in the high slot and 5-on-5. He's not just a one-timer on the power play. Like, this kid competes. Like, if he loses the puck, he's going to gnaw your ankle to get it back. And I think Snuggerud's got that ability. He's got that forechecking, that tenacity in him. He's got that fire and spirit, where if you have that and you have the shot and the gift that he has in that sense, you're looking, once again, at a 30-plus, probably a 40-goal plateau goal scorer consistently throughout his time here in St. Louis at some point.
People are concerned. I don't know if it's a carbon monoxide leak or if there's a bird in the background. Is there a large beep of some sort going on?
Oh, that's my bird. That's my bird. That's Biscuit. Yeah, that's Biscuit.
Doug, the Biscuit. Biscuit is the bird.
Okay.
Yeah, Biscuit, she's my cockatiel. She's my sweetie. We had Tinkerbell. You guys know that story.
Yeah.
She got attacked by the dog, and then she flew away after we nursed her back to health. So we got a new one for Christmas. Santa granted us a new cockatiel. This one's really loud, but just as friendly, a little bit more colorful. And she just needs a little attention this morning. That's all.
Well, you tend to the bird. Take care of the Oilers tonight. We got pregame here at 6 o'clock with the Blues hosting Connor McDavid. Kind of exciting. Blues trying to keep it going. They're 6-1-1 since the Olympic break. Joey, the questions weren't good, but they were great answers. Yeah. Good on you.
Nice answers.
Good on you.
I picked up the slack for you guys without Tim today. You guys have a great weekend.
All right,
well, we appreciate
buddy.
that.
Thanks, buddy. All right, we got to hit the hard wrap. It's a hard wrap.
Get out.
Birthday boy in charge. Got a break. TMA brought to you by Brown & Crouppen.
All right, folks, it's that time again to check your garage door, making sure it's working. The buttons, the springs, that heavy thing's got to get up for you and your wife and your kids, your husband to get out the door. And all these spring activities, especially the summer ones, all the camps and the pools coming up, I can't imagine what that household would be like if everyone's dressed for the pool this summer and all of a sudden you can't get out of your garage because the button's not working. Good news for you. You got a friend now in the garage door business. Give my friend Jason Gossring a call at Schaefer Door Company. Their website is schaeferdoorcompany.com. That's Schaefer with one F. But if you want quick results, quick response, give them a call, shoot them a text at 636-782-3608. Again, you got a personal business, you got a home, you got a double garage door, you got a single, whatever you have, they take care of all your garage door needs. Make sure that you're up and you're running and out the door the way you deserve to be. They're a great family-owned business here in St. Louis. They're local, but they will stretch their wings and help you across the St. Louis County area for all those garage door needs. So give them a call, shoot them a text at 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door is a Lift Master dealer.
Will the disc be available? Papers Classics.
Yeah, the return of the Jack.
Oh, Return of the Jack.
Yeah.
Jackson's birthday. We're celebrating Jackson's birthday here. We did that by talking hockey for 14 minutes so that he could tend to text from friends and family. Yeah. TMA brought to you by Brown and Crouppen, presenting sponsor here. We're in the Stifel studios, following closely to the dossier, which is presented by Polos Plus, except for the fact I realized we were just in segment 7-3, Doug.
Oh, no.
And we're pushing 9 o'clock.
Oh, no.
We are in the 8 o'clock hour, presented by Fisher Window and Door Store. We have Gabe DeArmond coming up at the top of the hour. Mizzou thoughts after losing to Kentucky. Mark Mitchell, man, 32 points from him, career high, back-to-back games. Did it against Arkansas as well. But the Tigers a little nervous about Selection Sunday. They're going to have to watch closely what other bid stealers are out there. Going into Sunday, we'll talk to Gabe DeArmond, but we do a little thing called pre-Gabe, and that usually means on Friday, the drops of the week.
And now, drops of the week are brought to you by VIP Auto Accessories, baby.
Fabulous.
Happy to have VIP back in the fold, sponsoring something like Drops of the Week. Before we get into the Drops of the Week, I'm going to have Tim McKernan tell you all about our friends over at VIP Auto Accessories.
If he
You
could.
go to VIP, and they take care of everything. They are a one-stop shop. And in some instances, people will bring their vehicles to 4 or 5 different places when everything can be done in-house at VIP Auto Accessories. That's Tommy Cibulka and Brian Grigg of VIP Auto Accessories. They have 60-plus employees, and what that allows is quicker turnaround times for you. A stellar reputation. That's why they've been doing it in St. Louis since 1979. They're in the business of making money, and they don't make any money when your truck is sitting on their lot. They're going to take care of it with an old-school approach to business. If they tell you they're going to do it, they're going to do it, and you can count on it. That's VIP Auto Accessories. You can count on them. A one-stop shop. Commercial upfits, graphics, wraps, tint, lift kits, hail repair, ceramic coat, paint corrections and touch-ups, paint protection film, powder coat, wheels, brake calipers. They do it all. They have mostly local customers, but also people from around the country who come to work with them. They do commercial fleets, police cars, and much, much more. They're online at VIPAutoAccessories.com.
All right. It's let's do some Drops of the Week presented by VIP Auto Accessories.
Okay.
Morning after.
Drops of the week.
Yeah, you gotta drop it like a hot dog.
It's a wonderful drop.
Indeed it is.
Flip that off. Flip that off. Flip that off. Flip that off.
Flip that off! I'm telling you, why does it take so long to put the how is it that hard? Like, let's go. Keep running the clock.
Joe Lenorti.
Brian in Jefferson Township. What's up, Brian?
Hey, Mike. I was wondering how much lasagna you can eat in one sitting.
Yeah, next question. Didn't like that one very much.
We thought one of them was a cuckold.
Well, he got to do the cucking in True Detective.
No, you're talking about my wife?
Whose wife?
No, sorry, I forgot. I only know Tim's name. Tim and Jackson, I'm sorry. The other host I was speaking to. I listen to your guys' show every morning.
Wow.
And I still don't know all your names. There's Doug and there's
This is a verbal posterizing.
My man, Dr.
Vince Carter, arm in the rim on your head right now.
somebody dropping a deuce in the student section.
I think that's a bunch of crap.
I am going to cut her brakes on her way out of here.
Well, why did we play that?
And yeah, if we could just keep the clock running, guys, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
I'm going to need a decoder ring for this show.
Don't waste everybody's time, especially mine.
And let's get the F.
That was Drops of the Week.
Drop, down, drop. Get it.
Well, a lot of Brad Underwood kind of as the exclamation point on the drops. And Mike Francesa didn't want to answer the question how much lasagna he could eat.
That's a lot.
Yes.
Maybe the whole thing.
A whole pan?
If it came in a casserole dish.
Yeah.
Maybe the whole thing.
Mike, how much lasagna?
And someone probably waited on hold for 2 hours. You can ask Mike Francesa, a radio legend, how long or how much lasagna he can eat in one sitting. That's one of my favorite.
And then we had the Dr. Ben call.
Yeah, I
He got
included that.
But here's something about that. He has a PhD from medieval history from St. Louis U. Mm-hmm. And I was talking to my wife about this. He was a TA when my wife was finishing her degree at St. Louis U. She remembered Dr. Ben, but I said it was weird because he said, well, I don't really know the shows. There's Tim, there's Jackson, Doug, and he said like the other guy.
Right.
Which is fair. That's fine. But then how did he know who my wife was and that she had gone to school at
Agreed.
SLU? Like, if you don't even know who I am, then how did we get to this point that we did enough workshopping to know who she is?
Maybe you're the
damning.
cuckold.
But I don't think the math,
Doesn't make much sense.
You obviously are somewhat familiar with the
agree.
dais,
I agree.
I would say. We are way behind, are we not? Is it
We are.
your fault?
Yeah, it's mine.
On your birthday?
Yes.
Nice going.
Yeah.
It's
on
Piddle's
me.
birthday, and all he gets is a stupid Sean Phillips foul. That's from Dale in Grubville. Jackson Kahamani will only watch the Academy Awards to figure out which protest he'll be able to join next week.
Boy, clever and funny.
See? What time's the golf segment, you nerds? Great jam, Papers. That was
you.
about the
Return of the Jack.
Return of the Jack, apparently. Think about it.
Okay.
All right, next Papers Jam. I can't wait to find out what it is.
Yep.
We are pre-Gabe. That means Gabe DeArmond's coming up at 9 o'clock. Barton, Doug, Jackson, Chairman Kurt with you on 101 ESPN.
Roof Restore can save your roof, and that means saving you money. For many Americans, their home is their most valuable asset, and their roof is the most expensive and most important single feature when it comes to protecting that asset. There is a transformational shift taking place in the insurance industry in the ways that carriers are covering roofs for homeowners. Most homeowners are unaware of these changes. Many carriers are switching from replacement value to actual cost value, actual cash value, which when you factor in depreciation, many homeowners will be paying for a new roof completely out of pocket. Thus, the industry is shifting more financial responsibility for roof replacement back to the homeowners, and that's where Roof Restore can help you out. Did you know you may not have to replace your aging roof? What if you could make it look and perform like new at a fraction of the cost? Go to notanewroof.com today to see if your roof is a candidate and save your roof and save your money. Go to notanewroof.com.
This was about the moon landing, Doug.
It's about whatever you want it to be about.
Damn right.
About Tanya Harding.
20 years prior.
My favorite sports story of all time.
Tanya Harding.
Yep.
Jeff Galooly.
Hiring someone to whack the other skater in the leg.
Do you like the movie?
I don't remember
You should
liking
rewatch
or
it.
hating it. I
It's
think I've
good.
seen it. I don't know that it made a big
Allison
impact.
Janney plays Tanya Harding's mom. Tanya Harding's played by Margot Robbie.
But nothing could beat the real deal.
I mean, yeah, it's crazy it took that long to make it into a movie.
Whacked her as soon as she got off the ice.
And people made fun of Nancy Kerrigan. Why? And I'm like, she was just hitting the leg. High-level performer. Oh, people.
What's crazier, that or the Monica Seles thing?
Stab while sitting on the sidelines of a tennis match.
I think
Sorry, I didn't mean to make you emotional.
You loved Monica Seles. I think that Monica Seles is more just one crazy person. They're out there all the time.
Yeah, less conspiracy.
But this was
about
a
it.
conspiracy and with the Olympics at stake. And,
They met at the Waffle House and mapped it out.
So odd.
at some point, someone got hit with a hubcap too, didn't they?
Really?
Didn't Jeff Galooly wind up getting hit in the face with a hubcap?
Jeff Galooly.
That name is so
made up
funny.
the name. Hey, I need a goon to be part of this idea I got. I got Galooly. You want to call him? He'll do it.
And anytime someone gets hit in the head with a hubcap, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, who has
Unless it's you, of course.
Who has hubcaps just sitting around
I don't know.
ready to be tossed?
I feel like the only time I ever see one is when it's attached to like a gas station bathroom key. Ever seen that?
Yeah, that's right.
I had 4 hubcaps stolen once playing golf at Forest Park years ago when I was in high school. Oh, I was crushed. They were wire rim. They were $100 a piece.
Yeah.
Way back then, I was just crushed.
You've had your tag stolen, too.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, stolen right off the license plate.
They're really gone now, aren't they? The whole hubcap. What happened to the hubcap industry? They just don't need them anymore. Used to be the old cop shows. If there'd be a chase, you'd hit something, then you just see the hubcap rolling down the street.
Yeah. They still have them. They just don't come off anymore.
Yeah.
We're pre-Gabe, and we're talking hubcaps.
What about white walls? Should we bring those back?
It's a nice look on an older car.
Sure. It would look kind of odd.
I think that's the old guy out there in the afternoon, like wiping down with a chamois or something, wiping down the hood. You're really proud of the car. He's got the white walls.
Retired for 6 years, and that's how he spends his days.
Wiping down the car.
Don't we all wish we could get to that point at one point?
Just
Every
have
Friday
white
afternoon
walls.
at the Home Goods on Lindbergh and Big Bend in Kirkwood, they have an old car show. All the guys around town with old cars parking in the parking lot.
Right by
there.
the Sonic there?
Yeah, they sit around, tell stories, and people wander around and look at the
That's
old
cool.
cars. It is kind of neat.
That is my favorite. That's my favorite store. Do you do much home gooding?
Yeah.
I learned it way too late in life, and I have to go like on.
There's still time.
I go on self-imposed home good bans. 'Cause
Really?
I'll go like I almost bought like a $400 bongo one time.
Bongo?
Yeah.
They got a little everything.
Yeah, absolutely.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. SLU kicks off their A10 tournament today with a 10:30 a.m. tip-off as they take on the George Washington Colonials in Pittsburgh. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer.
Maybe this will make you feel better.
Yeah, I hope.
A little bit? Maybe not. Gabe DeArmond with us. Power Mizzou, Mondays and Fridays. And Gabe had to hop on the old headset, take the calls, break it all down. Mizzou losing to Kentucky. What a weird game. I did listen, Gabe. I heard you say it kind of encapsulates really the season, this team. Kind of a frustrating team because there is potential there, but maybe potential not realized fully. I guess maybe level of surprise that was the game they played in against Kentucky. My guess is not surprised.
Very, very little. Yeah. I was watching the game. My wife was watching with me for about the first 12 minutes, and she's like, I don't want to watch this anymore. I said, I'll tell you exactly what's going to happen. They're going to make it interesting. It's going to be close. I think they'll probably lose in the end. But, like, at that point, they were down 12 or something. I said, they're going to come back. Like, you can't kill them, but they also can't kill anybody else. You got everything in that game yesterday. The great Mark Mitchell, who just had too much put on him and failed to make a couple plays at the end and really not his fault. The T.O. Barrett that puts up a good line, but at the same time you felt like didn't play very well. At least I felt that way. The Sean Phillips, you have to have him on the floor, but he can't stay on the floor. I mean that was the whole season in 40 minutes.
And didn't make enough of their free throws, too. That really hurt them to miss 8 of those.
Yeah, that too. It was a game that I think the frustrating part is that's an average Kentucky team. Like, they're the same team Missouri is, and they can't shoot the ball. They have one guy that can shoot. He made a couple. But in the end, Kentucky had 2 guys make really good individual plays. And Missouri only has 1 guy capable of doing that, and Kentucky knew it, and they prevented him from doing it.
So where do you think it leaves them? I mean, I think squarely on the bubble, but the sense is that they're in, but I guess things could change over the next couple of days.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, we are all paying attention to what Joe Lunardi and Bart Torvik and all these guys say, and they may be right. But the truth is, when it comes down to the last 6 teams or so in this field, which if Missouri gets in, they're going to be one of the last 6 teams in. You could give 100 people a list of these 10 to 12 teams we're talking about, and you might get them ranked in 97 different ways. And the only one that matters is how those 12 people in the room rank those teams. If they rank Missouri in the top 3 of those teams, Missouri might not even be in Dayton. If they rank them in the bottom 4 of those teams, they might not be in the tournament. And all that matters is what those 12 people are looking at. And while we kind of have an idea what they use, like, it's still an interpretation. At the end, do we know how they would rank Missouri against NC State and Santa Clara and Miami of Ohio and New Mexico? No, I have no idea. I know how I might rank them, but how I might rank them doesn't matter.
I also think it's pretty telling. If Mizzou didn't get in, I don't think there'd be a ton of outrage from the program or the fan base. Like, they'd be disappointed, but not screaming, oh, we got hosed, we got robbed, because everybody, I think, is sort of at the same place with, well, we did some good things. We weren't great. We thought we'd be better. And I get that sense as well.
Yeah, like, you did it to yourselves. If they don't get in, I will not write this is an outrage column. You can, the non-conference scheduling, the fact that you had 3 chances to win a game in the non-conference that might have made some sort of a difference. Well, 4 if you include Minnesota. You only won 1 of them. You got blown out in 2 of them. You lost at Ole Miss. You lost at LSU. Georgia beat you in the last 10 seconds. You blew a game against Arkansas, you had every chance to win, and you blew a game against Kentucky, you had every chance to win, and you no-showed at Oklahoma. So it's not any one of those 7 or 8 things. It's all of them combined. It's it's really going back to yesterday's game, encapsulating the whole thing. Like, they had an awful goaltending call go against them at a terrible time in the game. Was that the reason they lost? Not to me. The reason they lost was they didn't show up for the first 25 minutes and put themselves in a position where that call could hurt them. If you had done anything in the first 25 minutes, that call is kind of like a blip on the radar rather than something that fans can point to as, well, that changed the whole game. Well, it only changed the whole game because you did nothing for the first 25 minutes.
You think those early start times play with some teams' minds a little bit? I know the other team deals with it too, but it's got to be different.
No, I think the bigger difference, and they talked about this leading in on the SEC broadcast, I think playing in the first round is a disadvantage if you're trying to win the tournament, but it's an advantage if you're trying to win in the second round. Because you've already played in that building, you know what the tournament feels like, all of that, and I think you come out and generally play better in the first half. Certainly happened with Kentucky, happened with Oklahoma last night, happened with Ole Miss against Georgia. Like 3 of the 4 favored teams yesterday got beat, or 3 of the 4 higher-seeded teams got beat by teams that already had a game under their belt. We saw it in the NFL playoffs. We see it in the college football playoffs. It makes it harder to win the whole thing, but playing that first-round game, and it'll probably happen with somebody that goes to Dayton. Somebody that wins that game in Dayton will go win a game they're not supposed to win on Thursday or Friday because they've kind of already gotten a taste and they've warmed up a little bit of tournament play. And I thought, and Dennis Gates said it in the sideline interview in the middle of the first half yesterday, his guys came out tight. Like, they looked nervous. A couple of the guys said after, and nervous you can understand. A couple of the guys said after the game, Kentucky just seemed like they wanted it more and had more energy at the start. That's the part that I would not expect fans to understand. I mean, you've had 3 games where all you have to do is win one and you are in and there are no questions asked. You didn't show up ever at Oklahoma. You didn't show up for about 15 minutes at Arkansas, and you didn't show up for about 25 minutes against Kentucky. Like, that's the hard part to understand. There shouldn't have to be some big motivational rah-rah speech to get you up for those games. You should already be up for those games, and Missouri wasn't.
We talked about this earlier. I feel like Mark Mitchell is the best example of how to use the portal. You go to a big-time program, you play, but maybe you want a little more playing time. Maybe you want to be closer to home. You switch, and then you have a really productive 2 years there. He's only been there 2 years. Feels like he's been a Mizzou Tiger longer than that. I wish they somehow could implement that where you get one transfer, barring some coaching changes, things like that. And I'm sure he could have left after last year. I'm sure he had some offers. Yeah. And that's what all these kids are doing. They're just jumping all over the place. I love the fact he made the move and then he stayed.
Well, and it's why if I'm a coach, I'm not going after one-year transfers. Guys are almost always like – Mark was good last year. He's been great this year. Guys are almost, and this is both sports, they're almost always better in year 2, year 3. So if you can get a transfer that has multiple years, like there are very few guys where you say he came in and as a transfer was like dominant and changed that program in a year. But if you give him that second year, he can do it, and I mean, this is no secret. We talked about it at the time. Like, Missouri missed in the portal last year for the most part. I mean, they got Jaden Stone. They deserve credit for that. But and Sean Phillips has been better than, again, super, like just an absolute walking contradiction of a player. Like, you have to have him out there, but he can't stay out there. But he has overall been good. But outside of that, I mean, Missouri didn't get much in the portal, and they needed a lot more than they got.
Assuming they get into the tournament, do you see any potential at all for them to get hot and advance for a few rounds?
I think they can win a game. I have a really hard time seeing this being a team that could go into round 2 and, facing a 2 or a 3 seed, win that game. I mean, guess it's not impossible, but the way they're playing right now, they're going to need 2 guys besides Mark to play well. Mark's going to play well, but you just don't know what you're getting on any given night out of anybody else.
Yeah.
Gabe DeArmond, PowerMizzou.com, checking in with us. Mizzou will sit and wait Selection Sunday coming up this weekend. They're still talking about Auburn. They're still talking about Oklahoma, but I can't get past the fact they went 7-11 in their conference. I know the tournament doesn't have a hard written rule. I wish it was at least understood. If you're not 500 in your conference, I just feel like that should be an eliminator.
Yeah, but it's almost impossible to do that. Like, I think Auburn's dead. I don't think Auburn could get in. Oklahoma, I still feel like probably has to beat Arkansas tonight. But, I mean, if you look at Oklahoma and you look at Miami of Ohio, look, Oklahoma's a better team. Oklahoma would beat Miami of Ohio, but 8 out of 10 times. Doesn't mean they beat them in Dayton if they play, but they'd beat them 8 out of 10 times. Like, the problem with it, and there's no way to fix it. I mean, in the pros, you can have tiebreakers and you can compare schedules because they all mostly play the same teams, right? I mean, there are differences, obviously, but there are set ways to determine who gets in pro sports because you just go, well, what was your record in conference? What was your record in division? What was your record against common opponents? There's no way to do that. Like, I doubt Miami of Ohio and Oklahoma have one opponent in common. You know, so I don't know how you do that. So you have these committees that pick the team. And even if you do it by computers, like, somebody still has to input into the computer what we're weighing. You know, I mean, you have to give the computer the formula. You can't just tell the computer, figure out the team. Well, maybe you can now. I don't know. But you know, so you are leaving it up to subjectivity. And I get why you have to do it. There are 365 college basketball teams. Like, I don't know a good way to compare a team from the MAC to a team from the SEC.
Well, as long as you just get in, I think that's the thing. It's much better to get bounced in the first round and leave in tears and never to have cried at all, I guess.
No question. I mean, we're starting the ultimate coping mechanism of would you rather lose in the first round or win the NIT? This is not a conversation I'm willing to have. Like, there's no comparison. If you get in, you have some chance to go chase good things. If you're in the NIT, like, I couldn't tell you anybody that's ever won the NIT. I don't care about it, and I won't watch it.
Doug Marquette, 1970. But that was, I think that's back when it was more of a thing. Yeah. You know, somebody pointed out or asked earlier, what does it matter if you get in and you play, and if you're an 11 seed or that Dayton thing, that who's made a run? I think Konzo, before he went to Cal, I think at Tennessee, they were one of those 11. So it has happened, and it kind of goes to your point. If you're playing and maybe you can kind of get hot.
UCLA, a couple of years ago, they made it all the way to the Final Four.
Yeah, so it's not a death sentence necessarily the way they do it now.
Right. Now, I will also agree, if you lose in Dayton, to me, you didn't really make the tournament. You know,
Jackson disagrees.
It's a field of 68 game. It is a field of 68.
But, like, there's a reason that for the first 3 or 4 years those things existed. They called them the play-in games. Now, if you're the 16 seed that gets sent there, yes, you say you made the tournament because you won your league and you did what was required. I don't think the 16 seed should play in Dayton. I think they should take the last 8 at-large teams, and those are the teams that play in Dayton if you have to have it. You know, I mean, I don't think they should have it. I think they should go back to, like, nobody's actually trying to do anything except Oklahoma to get into this tournament this year. So maybe we could just go back to 64 and it all fits on the page nicely. And, like, I'll be honest, guys, I rarely even pay attention to those Tuesday and Wednesday games.
I wonder if we had a lie detector for Coach Gates, or did anything, injury or otherwise, with Ant Robinson? Because before the season, it was all about the big two. It was going to be Mitchell and Robinson. Ant Robinson, I think he was on some of the preseason, at least, all SEC type teams. And to me, that's the biggest mystery of what went on there.
Yeah, I think probably the biggest issue with where they're at, and don't get me wrong, they're only a couple games worse than I thought they would be. Like, I thought this team would make the tournament, but I didn't think it was going to be some 25-win, hey, you know you're in on Valentine's Day team. But I think the biggest reason they're a little bit short of maybe where they could have been is they put belief in Ant Robinson and Jacob Cruz that hasn't really been delivered on. You know, I think everything else you could survive, but I mean, Ant played 29 minutes yesterday and didn't score. You know, he had 3 steals, did a decent job defensively, but you needed something out of him and didn't get it. And Cruz just, I mean, I think he made 1 3, but, like, he's a guy where if he's not making, he went 1 for 2. Like, that's not difference making. If he's not making multiple 3-pointers in a game, then he just doesn't do enough else to help you, really.
Right. Remember, Gates said before the season he wants Cruz making 100 threes this season. Shooting 2 in a consequential game is certainly not going to be the recipe there.
Yeah, and I think he only played 5 to 8 minutes. Like, I don't think he was out there a ton. So, I mean, bottom line is just there just aren't enough guys that you can rely on. I mean, and what you have to hope is, whether it's Tuesday or Thursday or Friday, whatever, that's a day where Trent Pierce does show up. He didn't really show up yesterday. Where Jacob Cruz does hit a couple shots, where you get good Ant Robinson and Sean Phillips on the floor, and Jaden Stone comes back. Like, those are all 5, and T.O. Barrett, throw him in too. You've got 6 guys. On any given night, you need at least 2 of them to play well. The problem against Arkansas and against Kentucky was, outside of Mark, like, you got some of Sean Phillips yesterday, and that really everybody else I thought didn't play well. At Oklahoma, everybody played worse than you would think. Like, this team doesn't have enough margin for error. Like, they need 2 guys other than Mark to show up to beat tournament-level teams, and if that doesn't happen, they'll lose.
What I didn't realize is the postgame is also a vehicle to ask Gabe to be a reference on your job resume, because that was one of the first callers to the show. He was just asking.
That one caught me off guard. Didn't even say who he was or what the job was or anything. Just, will you be a blind reference for me? And frankly, I said yes, but I'm not sure the people calling into our post-game voicemail line are the people I want to stake my reputation.
Or are very hireable, I would say.
The calls.
Most were probably pretty optimistic and positive yesterday, though, weren't they?
It wasn't as quite as vitriolic as I thought it might be. I mean, I think we're, 32, 33 games into this thing. I think a lot of people have just accepted this is what this team is. It's going to go down to the last 2 or 3 minutes, and some days they're going to make the plays, and some days the other guy's going to make the plays, and it's just like they've shown you what they are by now, and my frustration really comes from the people who still somehow expect it to be something different. Like, I understand being frustrated with the game yesterday. It was a super frustrating game to watch, and frankly, I don't think there's a very fun team to watch. But, I saw Bobby Hurley a couple weeks ago was asked a question about his team's rebounding, and he said, we're 30 games into the season, guys. To suddenly think we're going to get better at this, we're not. This is who we are.
Gabe DeArmond, PowerMizzou.com is where you can sign up for all things Mizzou. Gabe will talk Monday, and we'll be breaking down that Dayton matchup.
I would say that's the most likely. I would say there's like a 50% chance of Dayton, a 30% chance of in without going to Dayton, and a 20% chance of, oh boy, what happened?
Gabe DeArmond with us Mondays and Fridays on TMA. Have a great weekend.
All right, you guys too.
All right, TMA powered this 9 o'clock hour by Mark Hanna, Evergreen Wealth Strategies. 9 o'clock hour here on the big program. It's the polosplus.com dossier still to come. Ryan Luechtefeld talking Billikens at the top of the hour. We've talked to Joey Vitale. We just talked to Gabe DeArmond. We still got email today. Don't forget, fire those off. Some were doing it at midnight last night.
Yeah, Design Air, Martin. You know about Design Air.
Design Air Heating and Cooling, a great company, longtime sponsor of this program. And when you work with Design Air, you get the very best. That includes the product itself, but also the people that install the product, that do the repairs. You can tell there's a difference when employees enjoy where they work. It really does make a difference. On top of that, Seth and his team make sure there's no upselling. So if there's a repair that needs to be done, they don't say, you know what, just get a new unit. No, they'll tell you about the repair. We've heard some horrible examples where the opposite is true. They try and sell you a new unit when you don't need it. Make sure you're working with Design Air. You can get online, designairservice.com, set up that appointment. Air conditioning season right around the corner. Never a bad idea to get a little tune-up, a little maintenance in anticipation of a St. Louis summer. Longest running sponsor. We encourage you to check them out at designairservice.com. All right, Papers, what's on deck? We got email today in a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm guessing we haven't really pimped it. Does that mean the batch is a little bit light at this point? Kurt, I'm just going to guess that.
You talking quantity or quality?
So it sounds to me like we've gotten a lot, but you're not digging them.
Tight read.
Yeah.
Tight read.
Well, we'll see.
I got pros today. I don't know, Jackson, if you're going to be in like a singing or poetic mood, but if you're going to read the emails today, you're going to need to be.
Okay, no problem.
You're also going to have to like sing to yourself a little bit, so just get ready.
I don't mind that.
All right, I like singing to myself.
Oh, do you?
And next, I got a Francesa clip that I think you guys will like.
Not about eating lasagna.
No, but it's a classic clip. It's an old clip, but it's good.
An old but a classic. It's Jackson's birthday, by the way. We've been celebrating throughout the day by reading texts and having guests on, just like every other day.
That's right.
It feels very special, doesn't it?
It feels like a gala of some sort.
Does it? Maybe
Yeah.
you could use some lasagna. How much could you eat? The whole pan?
Antonino's in St. Louis has a good lasagna, and they like give it to you in an individualized, like small pan,
skillet-ish
like casserole kind of dish, like a very small one. No, if you're watching on YouTube, about the size of this paper, and I can polish that off, no problem.
I would think.
Lasagna's delicious.
Oh, it is. I could eat the whole tray.
Yeah, lasagna's so.
Because I never really get filled up.
Yeah,
that's why I have to watch what I eat, because I can just eat forever.
Pizzas, I could eat so many pieces of pizza.
Yeah.
Emo's pizza. You give me a full Emo's pizza. I
the
think
whole thing.
I can polish
It's
it
the
all
little
off.
squares, too.
Yeah,
You're like, it's just a small
I'll just
taste.
have 7 more pieces.
As long as they're small.
But 2 of them are corner pieces, so it's like
Doesn't
one
count.
bite. So yeah, the calories don't count when it's.
Ever had the
St. Louis
entire
style.
carton of ice cream in one setting?
That one I'm able to cut myself off for whatever reason.
Yeah.
I can cut myself off with ice cream, but
we just feel a little too full.
Cookies, those can go quickly if you really let yourself.
An
rip.
entire sleeve of Girl Scout cookies.
Easy.
I've done that.
Easy.
And then just hang your head in shame for a while.
I have 2 young nieces, so I got Girl Scout cookies coming out of my gourd, and there's too many to have. It's
What do you go with? The
'cause
Do-si-dos, the peanut butter? Samoa, the little
Samoas.
coconut and caramel?
Mostly that, and then...
It's also a cookie you don't really buy year-round.
Never. I would never buy that.
I'm saying
unless it's a Girl Scout cookie,
the
right.
novelty of that.
Right. Well, I want to
choice.
support my nieces, so I buy a bunch of them, and now I have so many cookies.
We'll bring them in.
Probably should.
You got some fats on the show.
No, they're my cookies.
Oh, resale market.
I still
My
eat them.
cookies.
Don't get me wrong.
Get those on the resale market. Profit
People
off 'em a little
resell
bit.
them? That's greasy. To resell Girl Scout cookies?
I mean, supply demand.
Oh, that's
We're talking like eBay?
Oh, no,
Or
just
can't
like
you
word
buy
of-
them on the website?
Word of mouth kind of thing. Like I'm talking off
Is
season.
there a guy outside with a raincoat? And he's like,
I'd be
"Need some
kinda-
cookies, kids?"
How about a watch?
Yeah, I'd be kind of weirded out if someone was trying to sell me third-party Girl Scout
I
cookies.
mean, mid-September when they haven't been
Okay.
around for a
All right.
while, people are craving those Thin Mints, and you
Yeah.
got a case or two in the
I mean,
freezer.
they're good, but they're not like world-ending cookies.
The shortbreads are.
The
You like the
captain,
shortbreads?
Don't speak for the fats.
No, I
the
don't want to.
captain
That's
is
the last thing I'll do.
he's stockpiling. Hey, you need a little hookup? Do-si-dos?
I saw a story. I guess I don't know that it was true or not. That's
Sure, by all means, then let her rip.
But I saw where
Always a good premise.
Girl Scouts set up camp outside of a dispensary somewhere.
That actually is a good idea.
Made a killing.
I've seen them outside grocery stores, and my tendency is want to buy, but I got to buy from the kids in the neighborhood. I can't buy
That's
every
the
time
thing.
I see somebody.
And then you feel bad because someone comes up to you, maybe in the office or something, and they're like, "Hey, my daughter's selling Girl Scout cookies."
Yeah.
It's like, well, I have 8 boxes sitting in my house right now, or 8 boxes are coming my way. I'm gonna have
I
cut
bought
off my left toe.
I
from
was
the
going into
sugar
Schnucks
I'm
the other
gonna eat.
day, and they had the little thing set up, and the girls were all in little like costumes and dressed up as a cookie, and they're jumping up and down. I'm like, I had to buy. It's not a fat thing. I just felt bad, and then I'm like, okay, what's my guilt? Is it 1 box, 2 box, 3? So I'm like 3 boxes, and then they always want to give it like, here's your change, like $2. I'm like, it's fine, you can keep it. Oh, really? And then I'm like, maybe I should have bought like 6 bucks to be a good Samaritan, good sport. That's all. What do we have? So it's designer email of the day. It's Paper's birthday. How about some Paper shout outs via the text, via the phone line, Air Comfort Service text line? You know that. It's 399-9646, or you can call in at 314-974-0101. Dr. Ben did text earlier when I was doing my surgery on the call and saying, how did he not know who I was, but he knew who my wife was? He said, he texted in immediately and said, I know who all you guys were, just kind of had a brain freeze.
It's all right.
Said he
Sometimes live radio
Said he
can-
listens every
No,
day. And
I
I
get
said,
it.
again, the family.
It was just so funny.
The family will be excited to know, still shopping for that job with
It's one of my
PhD.
favorite moments on this program. Him not knowing Martin's name, knowing his wife's name.
I don't know the other guys on the show. All right, it's TMA brought to you by Brown and Crouppen.
If you've opened your energy bill lately and thought there has to be a better way, well, you're probably right. Drafty, outdated windows can quietly drain your wallet month after month, letting warm air escape in the winter, cool air leak out in the summer, and forcing your HVAC system to work overtime. Universal Windows Direct can help you out. They'll make it easy for you. Right now, when you buy 2 windows, you get 2 free, and there's no limit. The more you upgrade, the more you save. Plus, you'll get 24 months with no payments, no interest, giving you 2 full years to enjoy the comfort before paying a dime. And this month, they're also offering a $500 bonus off your home improvement project. So if you're thinking about how to put your potential tax refund to good use this year, consider investing in something that pays you back every single month in energy savings and comfort. Call 314-334-2522 or visit universalwindowsdirect.com to schedule your free estimate today. Buy 2, get 2 free, no payments, no interest for 24 months, $500 off your project. Upgrade now and enjoy comfort that lasts for decades. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
Another Papers classic. Name it, Doug. Name it.
I don't know this one.
I don't either.
Greta Van Fleet. They're a band out of Michigan. And it's a song, When the Curtain Falls.
And her brother Fred played for the Raptors?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, Fred. Yeah. Remember him.
I'll say happy birthday to Jackson unless he doesn't have my name right on the text machine. And I look up and the person has no name attached.
Well, that serves him right.
So no happy birthday for me.
He seemed a little smart alecky.
Contingent birthday
From
wishes
the
are no good.
314, Chairman Kurt texted me, because that's how we communicate 5 feet apart, a caller with a birthday question for Jackson Burkett. It's Jackie's 28th birthday.
Hello, caller.
Hello, caller.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Keith of South Milwaukee, former Whitewater football player, friends of LL Lance. Hey, Jackson, happy birthday. I am going through a car wash, sorry, but I got a question.
By all means.
How many knockwurst can you eat?
How many knockwurst can you eat?
Is that like a bratwurst?
Yes, but they're a little bit larger size.
Probably a 2-piece. I think I could probably, if I'm really hungry, I could take down 2.
I think you're good for a 4 or 5 pack of those. So
4 or 5
of knockwurst?
I'm having acid reflux just thinking about that.
Ask Martin; he knows all about them.
Well, I know,
Wow,
but I
take that.
Knockwurst, I feel like that's even a fatter worse than a bratwurst. Is that correct, Keith, of South Milwaukee?
Yep. All right, gentlemen, you have a great day.
Okay, he's got to go.
Make sure they dry it or you'll have beads on there.
He's in the car. Jackson, you hung with it because you wanted to hear the whoosh, whoosh.
If anybody needs a palate cleanser, there's a better caller on the next line.
Oh, a better caller. Okay. But that was a man, Doug, who called the show. Mm-hmm. And in his defense, I'm going to say he was probably in line at the car wash.
Yeah,
just wanted to chime in with the fellas. And then next thing you know.
As soon as we go to him, all right, you're up.
The Baldwin Big Balla said, happy birthday, Papers, the GOAT of the show. How about that? A lot of great shout-outs coming in.
That's too nice.
Via the text line here. I'm trying to keep track of all the great shout-out. Happy birthday. Talk all the basketball you want today. No complaints from me. So they're lifting their complaints, Doug, as sort of a tribute.
That's nice of them.
That was from Well Endowed, Lady Gaga's meat suit. Happy birthday, Jackie. Can you have Doug take his shirt off? That's from the Pope.
Again?
Who hasn't had his name changed. Again.
I'll send him some private pictures.
So now somebody said you can have a bag of, can't read that. No. You get a bag of those because you haven't changed the name.
Oh, that's not nice.
Guys, it's my son's birthday. He's 8. Can we get a shout out? His name is Rhett. Rhett, happy birthday.
Who's Rhett?
His son.
His son.
Oh.
8.
What did I just read it?
I'm sorry. Rhett?
Okay.
Rhett.
I read it.
Oh,
and the name is.
I was very confused there for a second. Rhett Lashley, is that a person?
3, 2, 1. Hey guys, it's my son's birthday. He's 8. Can we get a shout out? Pause. His name's Rhett.
Okay.
Happy birthday, Rhett.
Happy birthday, Rhett.
I don't know a lot of Rhetts.
No, Rhett Butler.
Yeah.
Red Buttons?
No, that was Red Button. This is Rhett.
Son, are we losing you?
I know, but like, what if I was just like to change the name to Rhett Buttons?
Oh,
I guess you could do that.
Why not?
Was that like a dad joke?
I don't know. What about Dr. Red Duke?
I'm Dr. Red Duke. Gosh, I liked his segment.
What we do? Was that like a Channel 4, like a franchise?
It was a syndicated franchise, like minute-and-a-half story that he'd do, medical story, and try to sell it to stations all around the country.
Kind of like Mr. Food?
Yeah, similar. I'm Dr. Red Duke. I didn't listen to much of the medical advice, just waiting for his
sign-off. That's all you needed?
Mm-hmm. And apparently he was in the operating room when Kennedy got shot in Dallas.
Dr. Red Duke?
That was his claim to fame.
That was his claim to fame.
Uh-huh. Why, I'm Dr. Red Duke. Yeah, he was good.
Listen, pal, we got enough local doofuses. We don't need an import. That's from Arbor Day, and I think that might have been Keith from South Milwaukee taking shrapnel.
I'm not sure I've ever ordered a knockwurst. What's the difference between bratwurst and knockwurst?
I don't know if I can tell you. I just remember it being... Now, everything you say on this show is innuendo, so you just have to be careful. You end up in the drops of the week, but it's just like the bratwurst, you can kind of picture the knockwurst. It's a little shorter and fatter.
Yeah, you're right on, Martin. It says it's a shorter, stubbier, and garlicky, smokier profile than its brought
Don't say profile. But it's the same thing, really? It's just a different shape?
Yeah, it kind of look
like the size. Like imagine a fat Twinkie, Doug.
Oh, well, that sounds good.
Size-wise, Doug would like a fat Twinkie.
I would.
What's the difference between Polish sausage and kielbasa, Doug?
I don't know.
Kielbasa.
I remember not liking Polish sausage.
Really?
I didn't think it was all that good.
We need some Mr. Food drops. Do we have Mr.
Who's
Food?
Mr. Food?
He would always say, "Ooh, it's so good."
We have Frank.
Oh, okay. All right, we have some Frank food drops because Frank really enjoyed sampling
I said that.
food.
I don't know if I actually. It might take me a
I think
second
the last time I called for it, you didn't have it.
Yeah, that very well could be.
That's okay. I can set the table for everybody. We got Blues hockey tonight. Edmonton in town. Blues right back at it. Beat Carolina 3-1 last night. They call him Jimmy Snipes, Doug.
Yeah.
Snuggie.
Well, when the Blues got home late last night, I hope the garage doors opened when they got home, because if it didn't, they'd have a problem, but the problem could be solved by simply calling Schaefer Door. Jason Gosrow would get somebody right out there and get you fixed up. That's what they do at Schaefer Door Company. They service all kinds of garage doors for service and new installs with LiftMaster. LiftMaster garage door openers are strong, quiet, and versatile, and they can also take care of you any kind of day or night. They've got that special Monday morning standby service for doors that break over the weekend. They also service those big commercial doors. If you run a business or warehouse with big, tall doors, Schaefer is experienced in those types of jobs as well. Big enough to handle any kind of job you could throw at them, small enough that you talk with an actual person when you call them on the phone. The business has multiple family members that have been working there for a long, long time. Great company. Service techs are not commission-based, so they won't try to sell you a whole new door if you don't need it. The website is schaeferdoor.com. That's Schaefer with one F, schaeferdoor.com, or you can call or text at 636-782-3608. Schaefer Door is a LiftMaster partner.
Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh my goodness. Oh, my goodness. That is sensational. Oh, my goodness. This is absolutely flavorful. Wow.
Isn't there one, too, where he said, you could really taste the Fritos.
And that hummus. You can taste the fresh pesto. I can taste the Doritos and the Fritos.
He sounds like he's doesn't it sound like he's being drowned at the same time as he's eating the food? In a classic no hedging with Frank, we need to say to him at some point, okay, no hedging the rest of your life. You can only pick one to live with. The rest, or the other one you have to live without: food or basketball. I don't think I think he'd hedge.
Yeah.
That's a delight.
But when you're doing those food segments, they always have to come up with something to say after they take a bite. You can't say, "Ugh, that's not very good."
Yeah, that would be bad.
Yeah, you gotta say, "Oh,
because the owner's standing right over you."
Yeah, I mean, the whole staff's like sitting there.
Oh, this is my mother's recipe. Here, try it. And you're like, well, that's awful. That's why the critics, I guess, just kind of slide in anonymously and just. But I always wonder, don't they eat like 8 different items?
Yeah,
because they'll say, then we sampled this. Then don't you kind of have a tell when the guy orders 9 different things that he might be a food critic?
Right. And my mom did it actually for a while. Would
she wear like a funny nose and glasses?
She would like go with my
disguise?
dad, so it looked like just like a date night situation. And like the newspaper, the publication pays for it so that you never be compromised, like from a restaurant possibly giving you something for free. And
But nowadays, that's all done with reviews, I think.
Oh, yeah.
You don't worry about the newspaper critic. You worry about somebody leaving
TikTok
a
and
review.
Instagram reels, like the food critic, like the review. There's a guy, Keith Lee, who's pretty famous. He can like...
Played in Memphis, big man.
He was a UFC fighter, I believe. And Dave Portnoy's like pizza reviews. That can like really kind of make or break a restaurant.
Oh, yeah.
Especially if it's like a trendy or new place. Oh, that's a big deal.
Do you read reviews at a restaurant before you go if you haven't been there before?
No, but if I like come on Instagram and someone goes to some St. Louis place I've never heard of and like raves about the food, I'll be like, oh, I want to go try that place. So I think it would add to me going, but it wouldn't deter me from going anywhere.
Yeah, because you could always just have one bad night with a bad waiter who wasn't interested, or
Yeah, you take that
Ordered the
somewhat
wrong
with
thing.
a grain of salt. Yeah, right. They might have ordered something I would never order and didn't like it.
What about the Frank drop about Doug's ego? Now they're requesting Frank drops on the show. We have drops of the week, Frank drops.
Okay.
Frank, would you say this statement is accurate? Doug Vaughn, Big Ego, Small Johnson.
Oh,
Confirm
Frank.
or deny?
That wasn't part of the food segment, I hope.
Guys, here's a hot take. Bratwurst, way overrated. Lived in Germany for 6 years. Happy birthday, Papers.
But it's
Well,
better
thank
than
you.
a hot dog.
I agree with that.
Now, knockwurst, I don't know. Don't know that I've ever
I
had
love
an
bratwurst.
oversized Twinkie.
Grilled bratwurst, delicious.
Do Jackson's movie reviews help at the box office? Do they get a bump?
No.
A
I
movie?
can't imagine.
And this weekend, you're previewing the Oscars?
Me and Garrett's preview the Oscars, all the major categories, who we think should win and who we think will win.
Does Gareth live in town?
No, he was in Chicago.
But he's from South Africa?
From South Africa, has lived in Chicago most of his life.
I'm looking to see what's in bratwurst.
You probably don't want to know.
Finely minced or ground pork, often mixed with veal or beef, and pork fat for moisture. Blend of salt, white pepper, nutmeg, ginger, caraway, coriander, and marjoram. Marjoram?
Margarine?
No, it says marjoram.
Marjoram.
Yeah.
Maybe it was a dictation and the chef was drunk. Put some marjoram in there.
And then stuffed in natural hog casings.
Now we're talking.
That's what you want.
Now we're talking.
Oh.
If you ever really notice the casing, that's when I have a problem. It's like,
I've never noticed it, but
you don't want to.
I'm scared of it.
Is that the intestine?
I don't.
You haven't heard of marjoram, Doug?
No.
Here we go.
It's an undershrub.
An undershrub of what?
It's a perennial herb or undershrub. It's cold sensitive.
Okay.
It's got sweet pine and citrus flavors.
My undershrub's cold sensitive too.
Hi-yo.
And that's the kind of word you need to have when you do the food critic. And they're standing over, I can really taste the marjoram. Is that paprika in there? Happy birthday, Jackson. Enjoy filling out your NIT bracket. Okay.
Well, that sounds nice. I don't know, who fills out an NIT bracket?
It used to be bigger because there didn't used to be so many teams in the NCAA tournament. So you had some really good teams playing in the NIT.
Yeah. Nowadays, some teams just turn down the invitation.
Yeah, I'm not going.
They scrapped that CBI, didn't they?
I think recently. That sounds right.
I would think you'd always should go to the NIT if you get invited. Let them play one more game. Those guys have been sitting on the bench. Let them play a game if it comes to that.
Well, coach, and back when they would extend, the roster stuck around, they would say it's extra practice. It's good for the next season. I don't know about the CBI.
Are you raising your voice at me?
Well, a lot of people saying they're willing to be a fat twink, Doug. I don't even know what that means. It's what happens on the text line. Gets a little vile. Knock, knock. Who's there? Knock worst. All right, we should get email. All right, that's it. We didn't play Francesa.
You want to play it real quick?
Sure. Big Mike, friend of the show. I don't know what the drop is.
So this is about Big Mike claimed he would never use Twitter. He was mad about Twitter. So here's a classic Francesa. This is not new, but it's a classic Francesa.
All right. Hit the
Media people and athletes are allowed to tweet, which should be against the law, is a big change. Okay? It should be against the law, but you're right. Because no one needs to hear from any of them. But the bottom line, and including me. I mean, you're never going to catch me tweeting, I promise you. If I do, you got a scoop. It never happened. Never. Can somebody tell me who utilizes this? And I've never tweeted. I don't do it. I don't have an account. I don't do that. I know there's fake accounts. I don't do it. I've never done one. I have no interest. You will never, ever see me utilize that medium, ever. Will never happen. As I tweeted the other day.
So he did tweet.
Oh, yeah.
He seemed to be pretty clear that he doesn't tweet.
He repeated himself about 5 times in 10 seconds saying he would never tweet. And then, of course, he tweeted.
By the way, happy birthday, Jackson. Your Movie Boy podcast is a hit with my friends. I listen every week. You should be very proud of yourself. From Car Wash Dave.
That's really nice, Car Wash Dave.
That?
That's really, really nice. I appreciate that, man. Very much so.
That could have been the first caller we've ever had that was actually in the car wash, and you could hear the car.
That was
being
wild.
washed.
And he was in a hurry because I think he was like, it's about to kick in.
That was wild. I've never, that's
and
crazy.
Jackson, I can tell, hung with the call a little longer. I think you really wanted to hear it just start to whoosh.
I wanted to see like madness take place.
Back up.
We had James Carville in a drive-thru at a McDonald's once.
Yeah. One time we went, Biff was waiting on hold for like 40 minutes, and we finally went to him, and you could hear him snoring.
Oh, yeah.
So he clearly went back to sleep. It was unbelievable. It was unbelievably funny.
So he's listening to the show, huh? Happy birthday, Jackson. You share a birthday with my mom, who is a saint on earth. You're pretty darn great yourself. Enjoy your weekend, beautiful men. That's from Scott's Wrinkled Ballsack.
Thank you, Scott, and happy birthday to your mother.
How about that?
That's really nice.
A lot more Twink references. Okay. Happy birthday, Jackson. Global quesadilla on Gravois, way better than Taco Bell. In case you were wondering.
There's a global quesadilla right by here.
Is that a Yola?
Right a little bit. It's pretty good, though. I love a quesadilla.
All right, email of the day is on deck here. TMA powered by Brown and Crouppen. Martin, Doug, Jackson, Chairman Kurt here till 11. Ryan Luechtefeld talking Billikens coming up at the top of the hour. Schnucks, the place to go for your groceries. Load up for the weekend. All kinds of specials going on. I do love getting those emails when they let you know additional savings. Great pricing right now on corned beef. Love that corn. Why don't we eat it the rest of the year?
Let's get some corned beef going.
You want to?
Yeah.
I'll swing. It's your birthday, pal.
St. Patrick's Day coming up.
Want me to swing by? Bring some corn.
Drop off some salted meat.
Hey, Papers, you there? I've never visited you before, but I got a sack of corned beef.
Just put it in the mail slot.
And by the way, I didn't have a chance to cook it, so here you can do it up yourself. Well, the point is there's some great deals right now at Schnucks on corned beef. I get these alerts because I'm part of the rewards app team. You know, I don't know if I'm on a team, but I get the rewards app. You can save money on so many different items throughout the store. And if you're in a hurry, you don't have time to cook, go by the bistro. A lot of prepared meals right there, prepared sides that are easy to cook, that are gourmet style. So a lot of different reasons to stop by Schnucks to grab Papers, some corned beef, get yourself something at the bistro, and save money with the rewards app. And when you check out, you'll find out how much is in your account. Everyday savings that you can count on at Schnucks. What a
Sounds like
twist.
Jose Feliciano.
That's exactly who it is, Doug. Good ear.
I didn't know he did this song.
He
Covered
did.
it.
This is the version that Tarantino used in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. It's a
I've never seen that movie.
You've never
I
seen
know,
that movie?
Sorry, I'll take
I have
the
it on
time off.
Blu-ray. I'll give it to you.
A Blu-ray?
Yeah.
What am I going to do with that?
You don't have a Blu-ray player?
I don't think so.
Does one of your
Is
boys?
that weird?
Does one of your boys have a PlayStation?
Yeah, PlayStation, yes.
That PlayStation plays Blu-ray.
Hey, get off the Minecraft. Dad needs to watch this.
Yeah, it's like if you have a PlayStation, you can play Blu-ray discs. Yeah. Wait. What do you mean? No.
I have a PlayStation 5, and it does not have
a disc drive.
Right.
Well, as long as you have a disc drive, you can't just you put it on top of the PlayStation.
Well, little Kilcoyne might have the discless drive.
Yeah,
that was
that's
a dangerous phrase to say.
You're taking your life in your hands on that one.
Doug, do you have a Blu-ray? Humble brag.
I have a CD player that I think might play them. I mean, a DVD player that I think plays
Would
them.
that work?
Usually they're if you have a DVD player.
Well, it's DVD. Okay, DVD I think we have somewhere, but a Blu-ray, is it the same?
I'll give you. How about I give you $5 American
Well,
and
I'm
you rent it on
dropping
Apple?
off corned beef at your house.
Yeah, we can make an exchange.
Well, it's got to be on Netflix or one of those, right?
Probably.
Something that you could pay $5-6 to watch.
Oh yeah, it's on Apple TV.
And now I'm
You could
afraid I might have stepped in it because remember we played the clip of Frank, the food. We get a kick out of that, right? The compilation of food. And then I joked if Frank had to do his own version of no hedging, the rest of his life he can only pick one, food or basketball. He texted me food. So I'm like, oh wow, Frank's listening. I said, I think that compilation came from Larry Thornton, your former producer. And then he said, oh, I wasn't listening. Somebody texted me. What compilation? And now we're going to get a cease and desist. I'm like, oh, never mind. Just some of your greatest sportscasts. We usually play those clips every once in a while.
We do.
Nothing to see here.
Yeah, we do just some live shot.
What if you had to pick between your air conditioner or your furnace? You could only have one or the other. What would you pick?
I'd probably call Design Air and see if they could blend
So you
those
wouldn't have
two.
to make the choice.
I'd pick the air, though. I could always bundle up.
That's the right choice.
But
Martin.
no, your pipes would freeze during the winter.
Well, I didn't want to think. I was thinking about my own personal
body heat
pleasure. Not
again, with
ours.
Design Air, you don't have to pick. They got you covered both ways. Whether it's the St. Louis cold or the summer heat, they've got your back with dependable service and no pressure solutions at Design Air. Design Air, you know what they do? They bring the heat, and they've been around St. Louis since 1904. More than a century of keeping St. Louis homes comfortable and customers happy. At Design Air, they believe in honest work. You're not going to be sold something you don't need. Whether you're dealing with the cold or the heat, they've got your back with dependable service. Visit designairservice.com. Schedule your service today with Seth Goldcamp and the boys. Design Air is comfort you can count on since 1904. Home of the handsome repairman. I don't know who you might get. Maybe the rugged Joe. He may bring Joey. He may not. There's the dashing Steve, the bold and daring Adam. They have quite a roster of handsome repairmen at Design Air who can keep your house very comfortable. Design Air brings the heat.
Oh, I like that a lot.
Yeah,
A lot of people wondering if papers will be done at Soulard this weekend. We'll find out first. Email of the day. Am I throwing you for a loop?
Not at all.
Okay.
Okay.
Did we lose you?
No, we got a Schaefer Door Company garage door on the line. I'm always ready. I was born ready, and I'll die ready. All right, let's get going.
Die ready.
That's right.
Don't die ready.
Well,
die done.
It'd be nice if you could be ready to die when you die.
Yeah. Notorious B.I.G. released Ready to Die. With the longer days and warmer weather comes a tradition unlike any other, the fasters. No, I'm not referring to the Friday fish fry Catholic moms who think refraining from meat on 4 Fridays is penance enough for scolding the waitstaff of their in-laws' country club. No, I'm talking about the other fasters who graduated from public high schools or perhaps Kennedy and who I look to crown as my champions. After weeks of double-dosing knockoff Ozempic, spiking their mocha caramel frappuccino with laxatives, and walking a mile per week with a weighted vest on, they are down a few pounds, heading south and looking to shoot their shot. What a majestic sight it will be. Plump birds perched at all you can drink swim-up bars, peeing where they sit. I dream of those champions. Who are these real people? Nikki Laus became my first repeat champion. Her fedora complimenting her yellow hair. Then a real tiger.
Is this the same email?
It feels disjointed.
Jordan took it once.
Did you just
for
skip a
a
track?
second. Doug, last year, a nice Irish lass who had come so close for so long finally won me over. Now the azaleas begin to bloom in the spring of 2026, and I sit here wondering, will my wee Irish lass have what it takes to get me one more time? Join me, Doug. The 2026 Fasters, a tradition unlike any other. Fred Dreyer's mushroom mark.
Oh, like the Masters of Fasters.
I wasn't picking up on
there. That was old Freddie Dreyer.
Fred Dreyer's
What's up, Kurt?
mushroom mark.
I was just going to say you were good on the names.
Oh, okay. All right. Appreciate you. 'Twas the night before March the 13th, and all throughout Ladue, Paper's 28th birthday was coming, but it couldn't help Mizzou. Still, little Jackie's happy. He's alive and not in heaven because, unlike Jim Morrison and Kurt Cobain, Jackson beat the curse of 27. May your hair grow long and your Fabio thick. May your 7-iron fly 140 and your free throws not brick. Happy birthday, Papers. You deserve a big old hug, but watch out for pup tits if you get that hug from Doug.
Watch out for pup what?
Pup tents.
Pup tents.
If you get that hug from Doug. We too low. I really botched the punchline there.
We too low was his name?
That's
you want
right.
to start over?
No.
I mean, go back to like 7-1.
Go back. How about go back to 7th grade? Just run it back.
We too
Being
low.
kind of the biggest kid, just
dominate on basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. A tasty treat, some tasty meat. You'd said you'd let men rub your feet. You seem oppressed and slightly dumb when you mix your yuck and with a side of yum. But to each their own, I'm good with that, mostly because you tolerate the Jeffco fats. No shame, no judgment, just lots of love. Go find the right-sized hand to fit you glove. Movie boy, oh movie boy, your takes are so bold, a breath of fresh air when we walk in from the cold. Spaceballs, too, it will be funny and coy, so don't you dare badmouth Mr. Mel Brooks, boy. Now, cheers to the weekend, let the madness begin, and 2 fingers crossed, Mizzou will get in. That's from Bro Fallon.
Can I interrupt?
Bro Fallon.
You can always interrupt.
Interrupt email the day with breaking Billiken news. Josh Schertz agreeing to a long-term contract to stay at St. Louis U.
I'll be darned.
Stu Durando on the scene in Pittsburgh says athletic director Chris May confirms this morning.
Wow.
How about that?
How long does it say?
Well, okay.
I'd like more info.
You got to go to Stu on Slew Substack, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Breaking news from Stu Durando, and maybe that was what the weird tweet was last night. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows? But
who knows? But
it's good to
athletic
hear.
director Chris May confirming Slew's Josh Schertz agreeing to a long-term contract. Now, you can always leave a year contracts in college sports, as we know.
Right.
But the main point is he's planning on sticking around.
Yeah, that's great to
How
hear.
about that?
We're going to have Ryan Luechtefeld on here in just
How
a
about
handful
that?
of minutes, and we'll
Okay.
talk it all about
Sorry, I
with
felt
him.
like I had to interrupt.
It was the right call,
that
Martin.
At that moment, so great
Your
news.
news sense got the best of you.
Yeah, I mean, no offense to Bro Fallon or Fred Dreyer.
Yeah.
But I felt we needed to get
you're a
to that.
newsman. You've always
and
had.
then Luck will be on, and he can give his thoughts.
Morning, boys. Just when you think things are going good and you're on a roll, the filter file pops up and knocks you out. You wake up hog-tied to a soiled, thread-worn cuck chair at an old Howard Johnson's, being forced to watch Butchie, Chet's neighbor, and a consortium of billet and stepdads reenacting Kevin Miller's greatest, most grotesque emails ever as Midge and Helga give you the play-by-play, opining on why they got to find a man as eager as these boys. Great work this week, gents. I can't wait to hear some more half-read emails today because the FCC won't allow them to be fully read. Have a great weekend, and we will see you Monday morning. It's from the Heiser House Hooligan.
Heiser House Hooligan.
As long as you guys are doing stupid things today, here's a birthday tune for Jackson set to the tune of Glowworm. Shine, little Jackson, glimmer, glimmer, shine, little Jackson, glimmer, glimmer. Lead us to less far we wander, birthday wishes over yonder. Shine, little Jackson, glimmer, glimmer. You're getting older, but not dimmer. Light that board below above and lead us on to love. Glow, little producer, takes a fire. Court rocks hoops on the wire. Glow for the listeners, all the species. Happy birthday, Papers, AC/DC. Happy birthday, Jackson. You add so many awesome things to the show. It's from Shooter McGavin, the Vice President of Travel Agency Marketing, exclusively for guys' cabin trips to the Smokies.
Shooter McGavin.
I'm pretty happy with the way I read that. That was great. Thanks, man. Happy birthday, Jackson. So proud of you. I'm going to get suspended just for you because I want to take my finger, oil it up, then shove it in. Nope.
No. Who was it?
Cole
Who was it?
Lundbuster.
Cole Lundbuster, you've been suspended. You've been suspended a period of 2 days' time. Your name, as we speak, is going into the appliance discounter suspension log. You'll know. It doesn't feel very good. You'll feel it tomorrow. It'll sting.
He said, if you touch the areola proper, it tingles, but if you touch the nip proper, I can't feel a thing. Chet just got back from his nip piercing appointment and he was still bloody and numb. He was wanting barbell nipple rings ever since he saw Kyle's dad with them at last year's block party. I told him it was a bad idea with how often he does the slip and slide on his chest. But as the old saying goes, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Oh. Twinks up, bears down. Brevity is the key. It's from Chet's neighbor.
Chet's neighbor.
And
I
finally,
always know who it's from because they reference Chet.
Right. You can pick up. You get the smell. And finally, all this talk about sausage has got me wondering, Doug, you ever have duck sausage? No? Well, then why don't you duck down and...
Okay, that's enough.
Toodles, the unknown DJ.
Unknown DJ?
And
You
it
got
says,
yourself suspended.
In the font
2
that it
days'
usually
time.
says sent from my iPhone, it says sent from my bathroom.
Oh, no.
And that was actually a text that I chose not to read earlier. And I love the fact it got through as an email.
You read it anyway. Well,
That's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. We'll have the votes in later in the program. Ryan Luechtefeld on the other side of the break.
With the breaking news that Josh Schertz, according to Stu Durando, not signing along. Well, maybe he is too, but he had the news that Josh Schertz agreeing to a new deal, and that had been sort of speculated that they would kind of up the ante, not only with NIL money, but also his contract, give him a big raise, bump up the NIL, and try and keep this coach around. That was their goal, and apparently they've gotten that done. Luck can react to that. I got to head out, but you boys are the best. Papers, have a great birthday.
Hey, thanks, man. I appreciate
I'll
that.
stop by with the uncooked corned beef a little
Please
later.
do, yeah, please
What a
do.
treat that is.
Yeah.
TMA is brought to you by Brown & Crouppen.
Caw-caw. You hear that, Battlehawks fans? That's the sound of Battlehawks football returning to the Dome for 2026. And Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken wants you to be a part of it. That's why their new Battlehawks box will get you 4, count them, 4 of their famous hand-breaded chicken strips and an order of potato wedges. Plus, on top of all of that, you get a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets. With this deal, you can get game day ready with a Battlehawks box for just $9.99 at any St. Louis area Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Again, $9.99 gets you 4 of their famous hand-bread chicken strips and an order of potato wedges, 2 dipping sauces, plus a code valid for buy one, get one free Battlehawks tickets. You can get the Battlehawks box in-store or by ordering online on Lee's new mobile app, where you can also earn points for free food and discounts. Battlehawks season's coming back for 2026 at the Dome, and our friends over at Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken wants you to be part of it. $9.99 for that Battlehawks box. Check them out. That's Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. This is Jackson with the Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Blues back in action tonight, taking on the Edmonton Oilers. Pre-game at 6, puck drop at 7, right here on 101 ESPN. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Universal Windows Direct. Welcome back. You're listening to The Morning After here on 101 ESPN, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen. We are in our Design Air Heating and Cooling 10 o'clock hour. And on the Collier and Thompson phone lines, Doug, former SLU Billiken, and just in the news that Stu Durando tweeted out that SLU and Josh Schertz have agreed to a long-term contract to keep him at the school. Athletic Director Chris May confirmed this morning. We have Ryan Luechtefeld on the Collier and Thompson phone lines. Ryan, good morning, sir.
Good start to the day.
I would say so. Ryan, you are live in Pittsburgh. That's correct?
Live in Pittsburgh, walking through the, getting ready to go to our seats, listening to Coolio's Gangster Paradise. What year, Doug? Was that song?
I don't know the years. I don't know any years.
Gangster's Paradise.
All right. That's a yell.
1995.
Well, you're a long way away. I thought that was
1995. Ryan, what's the vibe going on there now, both with the game coming up and the news that's circling that Josh Schertz and SLU have agreed to a long-term contract?
Yeah, lots of fist pumps when people get that news, and I think it just makes people. My wife is standing next to me; she's almost in tears. So everybody's excited. Hopefully, the day continues with excitement.
Yeah, boy, he's really made almost an immediate impact. What is it you think he does particularly that has helped his team be so successful?
Well, I mean, the obvious thing he's brought in the right players, right, and players that play his system, which certainly helps. He relates to the kids, and he's got a style. Like the guy, I know you spent some time with him, but he's a basketball nut. He loves it. He studies it. He's friends with a lot of the NBA guys, and he knows the game, but then he brought in the right guys as well. It's incredible.
He doesn't seem as hardcore or straight-laced or angry as so many coaches that we've seen. You think that's part of his appeal to players?
Oh, yeah, for sure. He doesn't get too high, I don't think, but he certainly doesn't get too low, and he doesn't go after the players too really at all. And I think that positiveness comes through, and they shoot like they do, they play like they do, and hopefully they turn it around a little bit from what was going on a week ago. So,
yeah, what do you expect to see from them today?
I mean, I expect a good game. I expect them to turn it around. George Washington, last time they played, we won, but it was a fight to the end, if you remember. I'm not. One thing about George Washington, if you watched anything about them yesterday and when they played us, and they have a history of this, if we get down early, don't panic, because George Washington allows people to come back. So if we get down early, hopefully we don't, but I just want to encourage people not to panic, because we can certainly come back.
Ryan, you're there in Pittsburgh. Ryan Luechtefeld, our guest here, former SLU Billiken and of Delmar Mortgage. Ryan, I assume you're watching warm-ups right now. How's Robbie Avila looking right now? What is your expectation for him dealing with his plantar fasciitis situation with his foot?
I think he's going to be fine. I mean, I know he practiced Thursday or practiced yesterday. I'm sure they've been giving him all the treatments they possibly can. I mean, that's a nagging injury, but I'm sure he's got all the shots, all the treatments he needs, and I'm expecting good things. And luckily, he's not a high flyer. I don't know if you knew that, but he's not a high flyer.
Yeah. It's different than Kellen Thames dealing with a foot injury or McCautry.
That would be a different story.
Yeah.
Well, what do you think about playing these morning games? Is that an issue at all for some players?
It could be, I guess. The reason they do it, I remember when we first started thinking about coming down here, we expected them to play in prime time because they're going to be the 1 seed. But the reason I guess they put the 1 seed here is so you have more time to rest before tomorrow. So it is what it is. I'm sure both teams are dealing with it. But I guess it can be an issue, but both teams are dealing with it.
And Ryan, you former player yourself. These conference tournament games where it's neutral site, you playing early, you might play again tomorrow. Does that kind of mess with how you game plan or how you strategize before a game, or is something like this just business as usual? It doesn't matter. Tip the ball up when we're playing 40 minutes of basketball.
Yeah, I mean, once the ball goes up, it is. I'm sure the coaches took different precautions this morning, tried to make it as normal as possible. But once the ball goes up, does it really matter? I doubt it does. If it does, we're going to have a problem.
Right.
So hopefully it doesn't.
Do you think this is a must-win game? I mean, it wouldn't look good to kind of stumble here the last month or so of the season. Or are they in?
I think it's a must-win. But, luckily a lot of the other teams that have must-wins aren't winning, but I'd sure as heck feel a lot better if we play tomorrow as well.
Yeah, I think it'd be a really bad look, especially if they got beat badly today, heaven forbid. But if
they got beat, yeah. And then you've lost 4 of your last 7 to 4 not great teams. It's not a good look. Let's just win today. Maybe even, heck, let's win tomorrow and Sunday, too.
Love that. SLU tipping off here in just a few minutes, so we're going to let Ryan go here in just a moment. Before, obviously, Robbie Avila, the nucleus of the offense, he's dealing with some injuries, but Ryan, you said you're confident that he can play well today. Who is one other player who you think needs to shine in order for this team to take the right direction now that we're in March?
Sharma, yeah. I mean, he hits 3-4 threes, and he can get it off. That's the thing. That's the difference between him and maybe Trey Green is Sharma could still get it off. Trey's struggling to get a shot off because he's not, not big. So I'm looking for Sharma to have a big day, maybe 4 threes, and then I think we go from there.
That'd be nice. And hit one early. Hit a couple early just to kind of build the confidence up and not play from behind so often.
Not play from behind. Yeah, that's what we're going to be watching. Is hopefully get off to better starts than we had the last month or two. But like I said, if they do, I don't want people to panic because George Washington doesn't let people come back.
Yeah. Ryan Luechtefeld joining us from Del Mar Mortgage, also former SLU Billiken. He is live in Pittsburgh right now, A-10 tournament, tipping off in just under 10 minutes. So, Ryan, we're going to let you go before I assume there's going to be some pregame pyrotechnics and stuff going on that'll get loud in there. So, appreciate you joining us, Ryan, and best of luck to the Billikens.
Thanks, guys. You have a good day, and go Bills.
Go Bills. That's Ryan Luechtefeld joining us here on the Callier and Thompson phone lines. Boy, 10:30 a.m., Doug. That is an early start for a ball game.
Yeah, I would think that would really mess with some people.
Yeah, it's 11:30, of course, where they're playing.
I guess once you get out there and get the blood flowing and run around a little bit, maybe it start to feel like a normal game. But you can get caught up in it feeling kind of impersonal and informal and not as important when you don't have a huge crowd there and lots of noise and energy in the building. That's probably not going to be there, and you got to get ready to play.
Yeah. But it is exciting to hear, and from what Ryan was saying there, it seems like the vibes are high, given that Josh Schertz has just signed a long-term extension to stick around with the Billikens, or agreed to sign a long-term extension. But as we know, that doesn't, necessarily. But I think it for sure means that he'll be back next season. And I have to think, just reading the tea leaves, like signing a long-term deal probably means that there was not only confidence put in Schertz, but also like probably some NIL money that's coming along with that, like an increase in the budget NIL-wise, because that's what other schools who might have thought Josh Schertz would make a great head coach for their program were saying. It was like, hey, we can get you a lot of NIL money, we can get you this, that, and the other. SLU kind of has to try to keep up there.
Yeah, they say they've got it.
Yeah, and I think this is maybe proof in the pudding that they do.
Yeah. Well, he's certainly a guy that you'd like to hang on to long term.
Yeah.
And you would hope that with this new long-term contract, they would get at least one more year out of him. But the way coaches move around, what do you do if some big blue blood were to come to you, or close to a blue blood, a year from now and say, we'll double what you're making in St. Louis? Could always happen.
Yeah.
But it could also happen where he says, I am really comfortable here. I love it here. I'm just going to stay here. I'm going to put my roots down and stay here long term. That's what people want to hear and are hoping for, I think.
Yeah. All right, so SLU tipping off here in just a few minutes. Monitor that situation, but the news in that per Stu Durando tweeting out this morning, breaking news, SLU and coach Josh Schertz have agreed on terms of a long-term contract that will keep him at the school. Athletic director Chris May confirmed this morning. That was tweeted out just 24 minutes ago, right before tip-off there in Pittsburgh. Doug, you've been to Pittsburgh, haven't you?
Sure.
Nice town?
It is. It's a lot nicer than you think it's going to be.
Really?
Pittsburgh is a clean, the downtown area, clean, and a lot of energy there. Yeah, it's a nice place.
It feels like a semi-sister city to St. Louis. Kind of has a similar, I know it's not necessarily Midwest, but industrial town. Love of it, like their sports teams are their identity, just like they are here.
Yeah, except for the Pirates. They seem to have disowned them for the last couple decades.
People are high on the Pirates this year, though.
Oh, yeah, they're going to be better. Yeah. But you're right. I used to at least think about it as cranking out the steel mills and the black smoke covering the city.
Yeah, right.
It's not like that at all.
Not like that.
They might still have the steel mills, but it's a clean city. It's a nice place.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd like to go to Pittsburgh. They have a sandwich there called Permane Brothers, where they put coleslaw and French fries on the sandwich.
I don't care for that. And they say Ewins in
I thought it was
Pittsburgh.
Yins.
Yins. It's all over everybody's T-shirts and everything.
Yeah.
Yins?
Yeah. What are Yins doing?
Never heard that anywhere but Pittsburgh.
Pretty folksy, though.
Oh, it's extremely folksy.
I'll tell you what, this Permane Brothers sandwich looks...
Doesn't it look good?
Ooh.
Doesn't it look good?
Coleslaw and fries?
On the sandwich.
Is that corned beef?
I think they're like pastrami.
Pastrami, yeah. Pastrami, fries, tomato slices, provolone, some slaw.
Yeah, Doug. You eat.
To me, it sounds horrible.
No, you eat that and then hit the gym. You know,
I'm not going to.
Could you imagine trying to do a workout after eating a sandwich that was slathered in coleslaw and French fries?
It sounds terrible to me.
Yeah.
I bet they sell 1 million of them.
Yeah. Chime in on your thoughts on coleslaw and French fries right here on the Air Comfort Service text line. You can also use the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. And hey, sign up for the TMA Listener of the Month. TMA Listener of the Month is presented by Form Energy. We do the work. It takes like 5 seconds on TMASTL.com, and you get a sick Form Energy prize pack, along with being mentioned on the program. And plus, Doug, you get to keep your anonymity. So if you're someone out there with a text name and you don't want your name out there, you can still apply to be the TMA Listener of the Month. Doug wants to keep everyone's name anonymous. I have
government names.
Yeah, I'm on board with transparency. Polls Plus Dossier. We're going to do the email of the day winner coming up here in about 25-ish minutes. We'll have more in the Design, Air, Heating, Cooling 10 o'clock hour, including our friends over at Stifel Market Moves. We make market moves, and some Joe Lenardi audio talking about what Miami's loss means for teams on the bubble. That's all coming up here on TMA, presented to you by Brian Crouppen, live from the Stifel Studios.
Ryan Luechtefeld and Delmar Mortgage, a sponsor here on TMA, and Ryan is our Billiken analyst, and he gives out his personal number for our listeners. If you are looking to buy a home, call 618-593-3608. Looking to refinance, 618-593-3608. That's Ryan's personal number. Delmar Mortgage online at delmarmortgage.com. It's personal, local touch, but with all the necessary technology to make the process smooth and easy. Pre-approvals and fast-track options will make your offer stick out to local sellers and listing agents with closings in as little as 2 weeks. Delmar Mortgage is a 60-year family-owned business. Ryan himself's been doing it for 22 years, and 13 have been with Delmar Mortgage. So call Ryan first. Here's his number, 618-593-3608. That's 618-593-3608. Ryan Luechtefeld and Delmar Mortgage online at delmarmortgage.com.
There's a bad moon on the rise. Welcome back. You're listening to The Morning After. We're broadcasting live from the Stifel Studios, 101 ESPN. This show is presented to you by Brown & Crouppen. The 10 o'clock hour is brought to you by Design Air Heating and Cooling. We will have the Design Air Heating Cooling design email of the day winner coming up here in about 20-ish minutes. But before that, Doug, we're going to talk about Stifel and the market moves. Our friends over at Stifel. Let me tell you a little bit about them here, Doug. It's time for Market Moves presented by Stifel, where we size up some of the biggest storylines in sports and decides which ones we're backing, dropping, or watching. We bring the takes. Stifel brings the steady perspective. Let's break down the moves that matter. Today, we're checking out the outlook of the NCAA tournament. A lot going on, obviously, with conference tournaments going on. We also have Joe Lunardi talking about the Miami Redhawks, who lost yesterday, Doug, their first loss of the season.
Yeah. Yikes. They'll still get in, though,
They will still. I think they still get in. I think the interesting thing is what that means for teams on the bubble, because now the MAC is going to have likely going to have two bids with their automatic qualifier, whoever wins the MAC tournament, and then Miami. What does that mean for teams like Auburn? What does that mean for teams like Missouri? What does that mean for teams like SLU? We got Joe Lunardi right here.
I think we knew all along that it would come down to this. Auburn and Miami of Ohio in discussion for an at-large bid. Miami's loss bumps the Tigers, at least for now, to the top of the first four out. But Auburn can play its way back in with a win over Tennessee. But the team they're going to have to bump won't be Miami. I think they're safe. It's going to be SMU, Texas, or VCU. So a lot to play for as the SEC tournament continues.
So that was Joe Lunardi yesterday. His last four in, Doug, as of this morning, officially at 12:05 Eastern time this morning. VCU, SMU, Texas, who we just mentioned, who would be teams need to be worried about something like that. But Missouri is also in his last four in, which makes me think that he thinks, also given that they're 11 seed, are you buying? Are you watching? Are you dropping? Or are you backing both Missouri and SLU in this NCAA tournament?
I'm going to buy that they'll both get in.
Yeah.
Missouri, I'm sure, rooting hard for St. Louis U right now.
Big time. So that's
there's not possibly two Atlantic 10 teams that get in.
Right. We're talking market moves here. Like if you're a Missouri Tiger player or fan, you'd be rooting hard for SLU because you want to keep the A-10 hopefully to a one-bid league. Now, if VCU gets in and SLU also gets in, doesn't mean Missouri's out by any means, but you start adding all these teams in there, and then you got Texas, who beat you head-to-head, and they also lost in their first-round game in the SEC tournament, albeit a round earlier since Mizzou got one of the byes. You gotta be a little concerned. You're watching closely. I'm watching closely as a Stifel.
You're going to hit the lever here for something?
I'm trying to find out.
I'm sorry. I thought you had a soundbite ready to go.
I'm running the board. I'm running this. I'm running point. It's my birthday. Come on.
I am so sorry.
Guy has a birthday.
Yeah, and then we put him through this.
Yeah. You guys sit there, twiddle your thumbs, please.
I think Mizzou will get in, and I think SLU will get in. Regardless of what happens to SLU in this tournament, I just think both have done enough to get in.
Somebody asked.
Sorry, now you talk.
That's what we've needed. Oh, gosh, did we need this.
Market. I think somebody asked Tim yesterday. He was doing a little AMA on the Team A fan page. And the question was posed, I think it was something along the lines of, who is it more important for program-wise this year's, I don't know if it was getting into the tournament or just success in the tournament. Whose season do you think?
Now, that's interesting. That's another Stifel market moves question right there. Who's is more important to? I guess I'd be watching on Missouri because with Gates having the number one recruiting class or a top recruiting class, depending on which service you're using, coming in 3 of the 4 likely. I'm not trying to count my chickens before they hatch, but I think Missouri will be in the tournament. So that'd be 3 out of 4 years giving in the tournament for Gates. It's like, all right, well, we've gotten to the dance a few times. You've had some pretty good teams. But what's the next level looking like? Whereas SLU, I would say, is more in its infancy with its new coach. And obviously, Stu Durando reporting this morning that SLU and Josh Schertz have agreed to a long-term extension. I think this year, I think it's more important for Missouri in the coming years, whereas for SLU, it's like, what is this announcement going to be? Because you've had this awesome year. what is the finale of that going to be? Because right now, people are probably a little nervous given their last couple games. What is this announcement going to be? Is it SLU just making the tournament and it's like, raise the banner, here we come? Or is it like, can we actually do something? So to me, it's like kind of two different situations in a way.
And it's a moot point now, but I was asking Doug before the show this morning, if SLU were to kind of continue on that little bit of a downward trajectory and kind of fizzle out, if you were hoping for Shirts to stay, would that have increased the odds of him staying if they were to lose in the first round?
That's interesting.
Obviously now it's not
Probably, yes. Like, because if we've seen it before where a coach, but this usually happens with like a 14, 15, 16 seed. Like if they are somehow to go on, like make it to the Sweet 16 or like St. Peter's with Shaheen Holloway go to the Elite Eight, then yes, it's like you're going to get picked off. But SLU is not one of like the 14 through 16 level schools. And a lot of the moves I think would be like lateral moves. But if you were to go on a crazy run, then you'd probably be a little nervous if you were Chris May and SLU Athletic Director. SLU Athletic Department, I should say.
I think it's more important to SLU because basketball, I think it carries most of that athletic program.
Yeah, they don't have a football team.
Yeah, and I think it would be a huge deal for SLU to put together a considerable run of success in terms of years and pack that building and really turn St. Louis into a big college basketball town. Mizzou's going to be Mizzou. They're going to be there every year, at least as good as they are right now, at least most years. I think it's far more important that SLU were to win and get in and maybe make a run. And they're off to a good start here. Brown hit a three-pointer to start the game, and they lead 3-0. Hava is starting, though he did not win the jump ball. He barely jumped.
Why did they have him take the jump?
I don't know.
It looked like it went out of bounds.
It did, yeah.
They went out.
He didn't even touch it.
Yeah. All right, we are going to take a commercial break, be back with more. That was the Stifel Market Move segment. Shout out to our friends over at Stifel. We'll be back with more TMA on the other side of the commercial break. You are listening to 101 ESPN live from the Stifel Studios. A Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey toast for this year's St. Patrick's Day. Here's to making a big whiskey in a small town, to a triple blend of spirit, but a single purpose of community, and to the friends in our lives, not the likes in our phones, to a genuine toast over around with your favorite people. I'll probably be doing that tonight. Gather around with some of my friends. It's my birthday today, and best way for me to celebrate my birthday, grab a little bottle of Tullamore Dew, pour it up, enjoy a shot, toast to my friends, and toast to our health, and toast to a good year ahead. And that's what Tullamore Dew was built upon. Celebrate the holiday this year with an official sponsor of the St. Louis Dogtown Parade. That's Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey. It's triple blended and triple distilled for the ultimate balance and flavor. Tullamore Dew Irish whiskey, 40% alcohol by volume, imported by William Grant & Sons, Inc., New York, New York. Please enjoy Tullamore Dew responsibly. Welcome back. You're listening to The Morning After. That's presented to you by Brown and Crouppen as we broadcast live from the Stifel studios here on Friday, March the 13th, Doug. And it's going to be a nice weekend, you know?
It's your birthday weekend.
It is my birthday weekend. Get after it a little bit, have some fun, playing some golf. Love doing that. Playing today and tomorrow. And then it's going to, snow on Sunday, Doug?
Well, I'm seeing that's a possibility Sunday night. That's no good. You're not going to go on some sort of drunken drinking binge, are you, on your birthday?
No, I don't really binge drink like that.
All right.
I like to have a few, a couple pops, maybe loosen it up a little bit, catch a little buzz, get right in the pocket.
Oh, do you?
But no, I don't think I'm going to do anything crazy.
You still enjoy your birthday?
Sure.
I don't know if it's with an age thing, but when my birthday rolls around, I don't even care for it anymore.
Yeah. And the older you get, you do not want them. These are things you don't want.
Right, you don't be reminded of the aging process.
No.
I guess, at what point did you start not caring about your birthday or kind of maybe resenting it? I don't know.
Probably within the last few years. I think probably as I approached 40.
Yeah, the big 40.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can understand.
You're kind of in that age range where you don't change very much. From about 30 to about 50, it kind of feels like you're pretty much the same guy, physically anyway.
Yeah. And it puts me in a weird, social conundrum, whereas, I don't love to be the center of attention, but, I want birthday texts. Think of me. Text me.
You do?
Acknowledge me.
Oh.
Love me.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, can you remind everybody of that it's your birthday on social media?
It's my birthday in 5 months.
Yeah.
Weren't you going to do running with the Bulls?
Every year, the running of the Bulls in Pamplona, Spain falls right on my birthday, and I wanted to do it for 40. I'm not a big plan ahead guy. I'm a little more fly by the seat of my pants.
Well, I think that's something you can do, right at the drop of a hat.
Yeah, going a transcontinental flight and then a big thing like running with the Bulls. I don't think you can do that on a week's notice, which is how I operate best.
Yeah.
But one of these years, I'm going to check that off the list.
Are you looking to be gored?
I would prefer not to be gored. I've already had plenty of holes. I don't need any more.
Sure. Orify.
Oh, you're fully booked on orifices?
I think so. My orifice dance card is full.
Oh.
Well, if your HVAC or heating situation dance card is full, with this tumultuous weather that could be coming this weekend, it's best to call Design Air Heating and Cooling.
I would think, yeah.
And Tim's going to tell you about them right now.
Okay.
Design Air Heating and Cooling has been advertising on The Morning After for more than a decade. Sponsor of the email of the day, and Seth Goldcamp and his team have been taking care of me, of Martin, and Doug, and hundreds of TMA listeners over the years. And the reason is because people know they can count on them to fix it and be honest with them. We had a listener about a month and a half ago reach out and say, hey, I went with another HVAC company for my mom, and they went out there and told her she needed an $18,000 repair. So I reached out to Design Air. They come out there and just tell her that a wire's disconnected. They fix it. That's it. Saved her $18,000. That's doing the right thing. That's what you can count on from Design Air Heating and Cooling. Online at designairservice.com. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling since 1904. Designairservice.com.
Speaking of Design Air, we'll have the winner of today's Design Air Heating and Cooling email a day coming up on the other side of the commercial break. Doug, a Schaefer Door Company garage door is on the line. That's coming up towards the end of the month. The standings are as followed, Doug.
Okay, let's hear it.
All with one win apiece. Chet's Neighbor, Toby, Average Size Shabangas, Heiser House Hooligan, Shooter McGavin, Buck Swope, Poor Film Student, Blazing Bill, and Tom Hershey's Pool. Will there be a new winner today? Will someone add to their total? Find out on the other side of the commercial break. You are listening to The Morning After, presented to you by Brown and Crouppen, live from the Stifel Studios.
Hopefully, you know by now it's pronounced Stifel and not Stifel. Stifel is it. It has been for over 135 years now. Stifel has been a trusted name in finance, headquartered right here in downtown St. Louis since 1890. What does Stifel do? Pretty much everything money-related. Wealth management? Check. Banking through Stifel Bank? Yep. You own a business? Well, they've got a full-service investment bank for that, too. Basically, if it involves finance, Stifel has a solution for you. With 12 offices across the St. Louis area and more than 400 nationwide, Stifel combines local experience with national reach. Unlike many firms, Stifel isn't bank-owned. They own their own bank, and that independence allows them to focus on one thing, doing what's best for their clients. It's a philosophy that has made Stifel one of the fastest-growing wealth management firms in the world. Their tagline says it all, where success meets success. That's why they're partnering with TMA. It just makes sense. Stifel and TMA, where success meets success. Stifel Nicholas and Company Incorporated, member SIPC and NYSE.
This is Jackson with a Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. SLU is underway right now as they're taking on George Washington in the A-10 tournament, 17-11 at the under-12 media timeout in the first half. George Washington leading 17-11 over the Bills. That was another Sports Center update brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, a Daikin heating and air conditioning dealer. It's a feel-good kind of weekend, Doug.
Well, easy for you. It's your birthday.
That's right. It's my birthday.
Mm-hmm. And we're inching closer to nice weather every day. Yeah. Or at least warmer weather every day.
Sure are. Well, it's a good time of year. I really like this time of year. You get important college basketball games that are going on like they are right now. Selection Sunday, rolling into the Oscars, the Masters coming up, baseball season's getting started, weather's getting nice. It's a great time of year. My birthday ushers in a wonderful time of year.
Yeah, I think that's true. We hardly even talking about the Cardinals. And not just us. I don't sense people around town talking much about the Cardinals either.
Well, what's there to talk about?
You mentioned
Not
the Masters.
much.
You know how many days?
How many?
27.
27 days until the Masters? Ooh, Doug, the azaleas.
Don't rub your hands together,
The
please.
pines. Oh, yes.
We've got flowers and trees here, too.
Yeah. Well, in the meantime, we have our friends over at Brown Crouppen, and Tim's going to tell us about them right now. I didn't have a better segue for that.
Brown and Crouppen, the presenting sponsor of the Morning After, the title sponsor now for a number of years. And we have gotten to know Andy Crouppen, Terry Crouppen, and Ed Herman. And we know them because they come into the studio, and they do that because they are local. Don't you want a local law firm, one that knows how to handle the big national insurance companies, all while knowing the local court environment? Plus, they know the best places in St. Louis to grab a bite to eat. They're going to offer superior legal services and value client services as well. Brown and Crouppen online at getbc.com or by calling 314-222-2222. That's 314-222-2222. It's Brown and Crouppen. Make sure you let them know you heard about them on TMA. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertising. Past results are no guarantee of future results, and every case is different and must be judged on its own accord.
All right. We are going to have the winner of Design Air Heating and Cooling here just in 1 second. I do want to say I've been seeing on the text line, the Air Comfort Service text line, a lot of people sending in happy birthday wishes also on the Michelob Ultra YouTube chat. If I didn't respond, I apologize, but thank you so much for the kind wishes. If you would have told me on my 22nd birthday, Doug, that was March 13th, 2020, right as the world was shutting down, that this is where I would be 5 years later, 6 years later, then I would have told you I'm really happy. That's incredible. So being on this program is an absolute honor, and getting to work with you fellas in addition to Martin and Tim is really awesome, and I'm very grateful. So thank you for all the wonderful birthday wishes. It means the world to me.
Well, what a treat.
That's my moment of sentiment.
Did you say the
word
world shut down March 13th, 2020?
Around.
Yeah,
12th.
I was going to say, I saw something recently that said our last normal day was
It was like
6 years ago.
That's when like the NBA canceled the season, and
Who was it? Rudy Gobert rubbing on
Rudy Gobert, yeah, the Eiffel Powers they call him.
In some ways, that feels like a day ago, and it seems like 20 years ago.
It's a weird the duality of the situation.
Well, Billikens have fallen behind by 12. Does that take some of the air out of your bubble?
I think we had Ryan Luechtefeld on the program. If you missed any of the program, go check it out, the Schaefer Door Company podcast. We had Joey Vitale talking Blues. We had Gabe DeArmond talking Missouri Hoops. And we had Ryan Luechtefeld previewing the game that's going on right now with SLU and George Washington. He said, don't get nervous if they go down early, George Washington, because we know they'll bring him back. But, yeah, it is 23-13 as we sit with under 10 minutes to go, or just at the 10-minute mark of the first half there. Let's find out who won the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Did someone add to their total, or do we have yet another new winner? Well, Doug, the answer is...
What?
We have a new leader in the clubhouse.
Oh, who?
Chet's neighbor.
I'll be darned.
Has picked up another win, giving him 2 wins on the field, or 1 win on the field, 2 wins in total, and he is now in the driver's seat to get that Schaefer Door Company garage. You can always email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. We'll be all back next week. Cam Jansen will be on the program Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday when Martin and Tim are out, so cannot wait to have Cam in here. You know he's going to bring the energy and bring the heat, and we'll have plenty to talk about, too, with Selection Sunday in our rear view and plenty of Blues hockey to discuss, and Cardinal baseball inching ever close. That's going to do it for us today, Doug.
All right.
That's going to do it for the program. Thank you to Kurt. Thank you to Doug. Thank you to Martin. And for Tim on vacation, I'm Jackson Burkett. Hope you have a wonderful weekend out there, St. Louis. You've been listening to The Morning After, live from the Stifel Studios. It's all presented to you by Brown and Crouppen.